near and dear to my Lady Stoneheart. Game of Thrones. So this is a spoiler, not a show spoiler, but a book spoiler for those of you that like books without pictures. I'm not a big fan of them, but the Song of Ice and Fire series is definitely one that is enjoyable, and I'd recommend it to all. So there's a certain character who basically comes back as a zombie, somewhat. I guess she wouldn't really be a zombie because she's not mindless, but she's kind of a shell of her former self. And she pretty much goes on a rampage of vengeance.
A rampage?
Yeah, a rampage. It's like a rampage and a stampede of vengeance mixed together.
Wouldn't it be a rampede?
Maybe. You tell me.
I like rampede. Sounds nicer.
But anyway, so vengeance ensues. And so anyway, so this character a lot of people were expecting to be at the season finale of season 4. And they came out and said, yeah, well, this certain actress is really good and her playing a zombie would be beneath her. And we don't think that there's a point. And for the pacing of the show...
Is that just a nice way of, like, them slightly confirming that she's already declined the offer?
See, that's the whole thing. Because when I read that, it made it seem like she's never going to come back as this character. But I have a feeling like this character is probably going to be pretty important, especially going forward for the next couple of seasons.
Yeah.
So, and to me, like, when I watched the season, like, when it ended, I wasn't like, where's Lady Stoneheart? I was just like, okay. Like, I didn't even think about it, because it's like, her story plays so much more into what will probably be the next season.
Yeah.
That it didn't seem out of place to exclude it. And I felt like that's what they were going for. Because her story ties into, like, Jaime's story somewhat and Brienne's story.
Oh, okay.
So she actually does interact with other characters in their big character moments, so I assume that's probably why they saved it. So, I mean, yeah, because for a cliffhanger, it would have been like, okay, I don't even remember that much of what happened.
Yeah, especially since it comes out of nowhere. I'm sure there needs to be, like, setup and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it worked well in the books because there's, like, a whole, like, epilogue at the end, and it goes into that whole thing. And it's like you don't see it coming, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, my God, this is crazy. But it's like, for a TV show, it doesn't work as well. So, I don't know. So a lot of people think that they're not going to have her in at all. I clicked on an article from everyone's favorite IGN, and it kind of implied that, and then you actually read the article, and then it's like, no, well, we think that they might just bring her next season, which is what I assumed to begin with. Because, I don't know, to me, it makes infinitely more sense, and I think people are making, like, a big fuss about nothing. And first of all, she's busy with 24 right now, so she's got stuff to do, but obviously...
She's got more important matters.
24 is only... 12 episodes long this season. I'm sure she'll be dead by the end of it and ready to reprise her role. And so I kind of gave away who the actress is. And
we kind of give it away with Lady Stoneheart, even mentioning her name.
Not really. I don't think anyone... If you haven't read about it, I don't think you know who she is. Because I wouldn't have known.
So you say.
Yeah, I do say. So anyway, Game of Thrones fans, fear not. It's going to be okay. Which dead may never die. Anyway, so...
Bella Mogulis.
Yeah. And then Vilhar do something.
Forgot. Dos Equis.
Is it Dos Equis?
Yeah.
All men must drink.
All men must stay thirsty.
That's actually so perfect. It's like Bella Mogulis, all men must die. Vilhar Dos Equis, all men must drink. To death. It's like supposed to be like Velhar do Reyes or something like that, and it's like all men must serve. But I kind of like all men must drink better. Start saying that.
I like that because we must.
Yeah, well, that is true. Because if not, we will die of thirst and refreshing beverage. So they thirsty, my podcasters. So the next one has to do with one of Agamemnon's favorite actors, Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
You guys thought I was going to troll you and say Jesse Eisenberg, but I wasn't. So if you've seen This Is the End, which if you haven't, it's pretty funny. I mean, if you missed it, it's not a must-see, but it's still pretty funny. So anyway, so that obviously is the all-star comedy disaster with Seth Rogen, James Franco, Academy Award-winning Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
McLovin has
a small
cameo. I thought he did. Didn't he win? Didn't he win for
Well, I'm asking. Fuck you piece of crap computer.
Just mute your damn computer.
No, I can mute it because then I mute us.
Oh, well then mute us.
No, it's just some random pop-up that never happens. Hey, your Aver Media wants to update. You want to do it now, you stupid a-hole? While you're doing this shit live? No. I don't.
Louis says Jesse isn't Jay's favorite actor. He's his BFF.
Luis, the words I have for you right now would not do any justice to how I feel.
So the cameo Channing Tatum has, the Magic Mike star dresses up. It's funny that they said that he dressed up as a Mexican wrestler called the Gimp, but I want to say that he actually had a Gimp mask on. I think maybe the writers of this article mistook a Gimp mask for a Lucha Libre mask, which I don't know how you could do that.
White people, man.
Because one has a mouth and one has a zipper for a mouth.
Yeah. They're very specific. One's made out of latex. The other one's like nylon and cotton and really uncomfortable polyester.
Yes.
It's a mixture.
Very uncomfortable. But anyway, so basically...
once you see your face, you're just like, I'm uncomfortably awesome right now. I look incredible. I can deal with this not breathing through my nose thing for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah. I totally want to be La Parka for Halloween.
Oh, I think I still have my La Parka mask.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Nice.
if you want it, take it.
Nice.
I just took the little hood thing off because I always hated the hood. I was like, it looks so much... It looks like a Dia de los Muertos version of Bane. with the hood off. You know, it's just like a straight-up mask.
I will break you. Nice.
I will break you and then break cascarones on your head.
And then we will break bread. Churros.
We will break fresh-made tortillas for my abuelita.
So come on down to Maria's Tacos on South Lamar Boulevard.
I am Bane!
Yeah. I'm the bane of your hunger's existence.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he didn't dress up like a Mexican wrestler. He dressed it up like a Gimp, and he was called the Gimp. So anyway, so he just pops out of nowhere. Danny McBride is pretty much like this like Mad Max character who was...
So he's just Danny McBride.
Yeah.
But angry.
Yeah, pretty much. Like angrier Danny McBride. And he's riding around, during the apocalypse, and he has this little like band of like cannibals. And he has Channing Tatum as like his pretty much like Gimp, just walking around on all fours, like, humping his leg and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they asked Channing Tatum about it. He told MTV, they didn't even know they were still around. So sadly, that is not a body double. That's really, really, really me. I probably had too much to drink the night that I got the email at like 3 a.m. I think they were already filming. I don't know why I even picked it up. And then I read the email and it was from Seth Rogen, ... It said, hey, I hope this isn't insulting, but we had this idea on set for a cameo. It involves you, Danny McBride, and Mexican wrestling mask and a leash. I think it might have been the Ambien or drunk or something. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. No problem. It was a terrible idea. So at first I thought he was just backing off of like the cameo, because the cameo was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
And it was one of those where it's like, where it's self-deprecating, so it's just like, oh,
but it's like a fun show of sport, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Especially for someone that like a lot of people don't really respect that much, because he just kind of comes across as like, oh, here's the handsome guy who doesn't really have acting chops.
Yeah.
Not that everyone feels that way, but it's kind of like that's kind of like the stigma he has on him.
Right.
So when you see that, you're just like, wow, like he's really chill. He's
a goofball.
Cool. It's almost like the Justin Timberlake doing the Lonely Island stuff.
Yeah. But even in comparison, that's much more dignified.
Yeah.
It's putting his dick in the box, not insinuating that he is getting dick in his box.
It's not. The dick is not in the box. It is the box.
It is the box.
So anyway, so this is like the best part of the whole thing. This is like what cinched it for me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had read that, and I was like, okay, that's pretty funny. He's regretful. He's like, you probably shouldn't be drinking while you're on Ambien. I'm pretty sure it says that on the bottle. So, Mr. Tatum, don't abuse drugs. All right. I'm looking out for you, because obviously there's a lot of ladies that would like to see Magic Mike too, and if you're dead, it's not going to work out. So anyway. So he said, I had never met Danny before, and I felt like the appropriate thing to do was to go into his trailer and that Mexican wrestling outfit and introduce myself by tackling him and humping him on the bed.
He did that to Danny McBride?
To Danny McBride. He said, it went not well. Like, really not well. I think he was terrified. I don't think he likes me to this day.
Oh, really? Dude, that's like the best story ever.
Isn't it?
That's awesome. I mean, that'd be one thing like, hey, I wanted Danny McBride. Like, I would love if I met Danny McBride and for him to like, hey, I like you. Let's be friends.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're friends and we go buy tacos every Saturday. But I wouldn't be mad if I went in with that intention and ended up having him hate me for life. Like, dude, that guy will never forget who I am because he hates the fucking shit out of me. That's awesome.
I can imagine him getting a tattoo like on his forearm, and it's just the Gimp mask, and it says "Never Forget" underneath.
Yeah,
with a teardrop coming out of the Gimp mask.
I love that. And an R.I.P. like tombstone.
Yeah,
somewhere in that.
Luis says he told the story in Conan. Well, I'm sorry. Sometimes some people don't watch Conan. Some people listen to Straight Outta Austin every Monday at 8 p.m. Central, and that's how they get their news.
And to you viewers, we thank you.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. It's just like
that's funny. I think it's freaking funny.
It's funny too, especially because of the way Danny. I keep wanting to call him Danny Trejo. The way Danny McBride portrays himself, he seems like that would never bother him. Like his persona when he's an actor. So it's just funny. Like his real life persona is like so freaked out. Luis says, "I do both." I know. I'm just teasing you, Luis. You're still good in my book, you and Eisenberg. But I don't know. It's just hilarious to me because like I had the article saved and I had forgot to read it, and then I was skimming through. I'm like, all right, this sounds kind of funny. Oh my god, that's hilarious! Like, can you imagine his eyes? Like I mentioned, he had like a Hank Hill moment, and he was like, oh, and then Channing Tatum just turns to him, unzips his mouth, and smiles, and he's like, "Turned down for what?"
What if Channing Tatum played Hank Hill?
Hey, he's already working on his southern accent.
He kind of has that voice, though, when you really think about it. I mean, he doesn't sound like Hank Hill, but if you just kind of, like, change the tone a little, like, he could do it. I think the vocal cords are definitely there.
Well, I think I'd rather have him play Hank Hill than play Gambit. But after this Gimp story, I don't know. Like, my confidence in him as Gambit has risen. I
think if they ever did, like, a live-action King of the Hill movie, like, years from now, he'd be perfect. Because, like, he's, like, the sporty-looking dude type. And, like, Hank Hill was, like, the star athlete in Arlen. So you could definitely have, like, those kind of shots. And then have him older, with his ankle broken. And stuff like, that'd be funny.
Yeah, I think if he's willing to put on the weight... Because you got to have the Hank Hill pot belly.
Yeah. Well, maybe they'll do like a live action like years down.
Yeah,
maybe when he's like 40.
When his career's died and his soul is dead.
Yeah.
And he's ready to take any role.
Yes. Yes.
He's like literally. He's actually like really selling propane. Like, "Sir, would you like to get back into acting?" And you see his eyes light up.
Just what?
And it's really because he smells the propane leaking.
I'd love to. Yeah, dude. Yeah, sign me up.
So I have a funny.
What are we doing? It's like you're gonna be a sex slave for a guy that's playing Hank Hill, and you're going to be selling propane. I'm like, oh.
He's like, well, that's my life. Yeah, that's my life anyway, so. So I have a funny propane story. So from watching King of the Hill, I've learned that propane is an odorless gas.
Right.
So I was hanging out.
Taste the meat, not the heat, of course. Yes.
So I was hanging out with Melanie, who's sadly not listening right now. But she was grilling steaks, and she had turned on the gas. And I smelled it, but I didn't react right away because propane's an odorless gas. So I was like, well, that can't be the propane. And it was like only after like a fireball like flew up when she was lighting the grill that I then remember what I also learned from King of the Hill, that the odor is added afterwards so that when if it's leaking, you can smell it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
There was that episode where there's like that kid. He's like a star athlete, but he's really dumb. And he has to write like this article about
the Hawaiian kid.
Yeah, the Hawaiian kid. He's like propane is stinky, and I was so grateful that I didn't get blowed up. And then Hank Hill gets all offended. He's like, propane is an odorless gas.
They only add it afterwards so that you can smell it leaking.
Yeah. Oh. But then you don't realize it because you only remember that it's odorless.
You jackass.
And then you have no eyebrows. Oh, man. I would love to. I want to see a King of the Hill movie. Just, like, get the band back together.
Yeah.
Like, that would be great. It'd be, like, in propane 3D. And, like, you smell the propane. Like, they have it, like, leaking into the theater.
And then everything blows up.
And
then Michael Bay is in the background on the side of the road. And then he sheds a single tear.
Yeah, it's only showed once. Yeah, oh, my God, dude. King of the Hill, directed by Michael Bay.
Oh my god!
And all it is just propane tanks exploding.
Yeah, all the propane stores in Arlen are exploding.
Like Hank's like the would-be action star. He's almost
gotta stop him.
Yeah, he's like the John McClane, where he's like the everyman that has to rise to the occasion. Yeah. I'm gonna kick your ass.
I'm gonna kick your ass. Whatever.
You can have like some government conspiracy that like Dale's a part of.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I like it.
Bill Dotrie's got to get back into like his army shape and save the day.
Yeah.
And Boomhauer. just gets laid.
He like seduces some ladies behind the counter. Oh no, man! What I gotta do is get some free dry cleaning.
Played by Josh Holloway. Oh no, played by
Josh Holloway.
Yeah, the last guy, Sawyer.
Oh, is that his name? I was thinking of who's the MMA fighter that has a similar. Isn't there a Josh Holloway?
There's a
MMA
John
fighter?
Hathaway.
No,
but he's British, sir. But no, I was actually thinking. Why can I not remember his name? He is he's the guy that stole Leo's Oscar this year.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, he could be. Man, he's too handsome for Boomhauer. He's way too handsome, dude. No, I disagree.
He would be perfect. Just imagine like all these accolades he's got like the last few years.
He's way too relaxed.
Boomhauer is relaxed.
I don't want to talk fast.
And Boomhauer just like he's just pretty much just like a man whore. So
yeah, but he like talks unbearably fast. I don't think Matthew McConaughey would do that.
He wouldn't. But he can, because that's the caliber of actor Mr. McConaughey is.
Maybe.
Yeah, there is no maybe. See, Luis, he's got my back. He would fit Boom.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
Don't lie to him.
Yeah. Come on, Jay. There's makeup to de-handsome Matthew.
Why would you de-handsome Matthew McConaughey?
Case
what is
in
wrong
point,
with you?
So Vanessa Hudgens, who's not a great actress, she did a movie, I don't remember what it's called, but where she had to be ugly. And if you can make Vanessa Hudgens...
In the words of Tobey Maguire in the first Spider-Man movie, as he's speaking to Mary Jane while taking her picture, that's impossible.
Hey, if they can succeed with her, even Matthew McConaughey's chiseled looks can be diminished. Supposedly her acting was actually good in that movie. So
well, I think a better example would be Charlize Theron in Monster.
Well, I never saw Monster.
Well, neither did I, but I saw the trailers for it, and she looked like a horrible... She looked like a hobo ready to shank somebody. And oddly enough, she was pretty close to that in that character.
I like my example better. Because
it had Christina Ricci in it.
It gives me an excuse.
They were lesbian lovers.
It gives me an excuse to bring up the wonderful Vanessa Hudgens.
Why wouldn't you want to bring up Christina Ricci?
Not that big of a
Charlize Theron. What?
They're both excellent actresses.
What?
Vanessa Hudgens is not.
That's
so she needs
like
she needs all the help she could get, okay?
She's not your age or older. And you don't find that attractive.
Well, not exactly. But that's a story for another time. So anyway, speaking of not my age, Chloe Grace Moretz.
She's 17.
Oh, is she 17 now? Well, anyway.
Now and forever.
Yes. Anyway, so she is doubtful that there will be a Kick-Ass 3. So the first Kick-Ass grossed $96.2 million at the global box office.
Only that much?
Oh.
What?
But the second one only grossed $60.8 million worldwide.
Oh, no.
Well, this is the problem.
Kidding.
Hey, sequels are supposed to outdo the original.
Yeah, supposed to.
But this one, I don't know, the sequel really bombed. And,
remakes are supposed to outdo the originals.
Sometimes. I don't know if that's really a thing, though.
I think it should be.
Especially
if you're going to make a remake, when there's no point.
Well, then they definitely shouldn't outdo the original. They should bomb.
That's what I'm saying.
Destroy that idea forever.
But that's the motto in Hollywood. That's the problem that I'm trying to raise here.
I think it's more the lack of creativity.
Well, yeah, man.
The hard thing is, if fans want a third movie, they've got to go and buy the ticket to go see the movie.
Well, is she insinuating that pirating killed the second movie's grossing sales?
So Miss Kick-Ass, or Miss Hit Girl said it was the second most pirated movie of the year.
Oh, whatever.
So if you want
I was right on the money.
So if you want the movie to be made into a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth, go buy a ticket.
Please.
Don't pirate. All right?
I actually feel bad for anybody that pirated Kick-Ass 2, because it wasn't great, but I wouldn't say it was necessarily worth pirating either.
Well, I mean, I think most people would rather pirate than see a movie that's not great and pay money.
Yeah, but to waste all that time downloading it,
you can download and walk away
it
and do something else.
On a laptop screen, and like medium to low grade quality.
Well, that's what you get for not shelling out the $10. You've made Hit Girl anger, all right? If you've pirated the movie, and she will come to your house and she will murder you.
When I start hearing that happy wah, wah, wah,
yeah, she's gonna use her like crap machine and make everyone crap on themselves. I don't know. It definitely wasn't great. I wish Matthew Vaughn would have directed, but
I think it's a load of shit to blame pirating
Second most pirated movie of the year, sir.
Of that year?
Second. Yeah, of course of that year.
What other movies came out that year?
Kick-Ass 2.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Was that last year?
Well, there was another article I was reading. They were blaming a biopic of what was it? It was called the no. It was called
My biopic was great.
The Butler or the something. It was about a house servant.
I think there was. There's somebody. It's like something's The Butler. Forgot the guy's name though.
Yeah, they said that because that movie came out.
Or
it was called The Slave, or I don't remember, something like
12
that. 12
Years a Slave?
The Help. No. It was called The Help. No, not The Help.
1 Year a Slave?
No. That came out last year, late last year.
More than one movie released each year.
Anyways, they said because those movies came out at the same time,
and
that movie took away from Kick-Ass 2 sales. I was like, really? That seems like a really piss-poor excuse.
Well, I know when I go to the movies, I'm like, do I want to see a depressing movie about slavery, or do I want to see Hit Girl chop off heads? And I'm just sitting there just weighing it like, I don't know. This is such a hard choice.
Do I go with my people? Or do I go with my urge to kill?
Urge to kill rising. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure also... This is the thing, because like the movie... It's hard to say what made it bomb. It wasn't necessarily the fact that the movie didn't live up to the second one, because sequels rarely do.
Right.
I don't think that was the case, because like even opening day, like you haven't had time to tell people how disappointed you were.
Yeah.
But it's like opening day, because it's like you have the Jim Carrey controversy,
which
really should have helped it, because most people are like, it's so violent, I got to see it.
Yeah, but I think Jim Carrey's at that status to where like, I think him coming out probably appeased more people than it did piss people off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it kind of made us angry when we came off about that.
Well,
but it's like at the end of the day,
yeah,
because I just felt hypocritical. Like, yeah, I'm going to take all this money and then I'm going to talk shit about it and then not go to the public stuff that I'm contractually obligated to abide by. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, but it's like, I don't know. I think it helped him more than it.
Did it, though? Because people were really pissed off at him.
Nah, he's still coming out with movies and stuff. He's doing good
but
for
who
himself.
wants to see him?
He's a YouTube and Twitter sensation. People love him.
Is he?
And follow him. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen him on either.
Well, for a while, he had that obsession with Emma Stone. And he's up to other antics on Twitter every now and then.
Well, that I can't approve of. But
he's going to schools and making heartfelt speeches. Blah, blah, blah.
Is he doing them through his butt, like Ace Ventura?
No. Yeah, he gave that up a long time ago. Sadly, no.
And so did my fandom of him.
He is not the Jim Carrey that we grew up with.
Despite
the one that was willing to sell his soul for a fart joke.
Well, he is coming back with Dumb and Dumber, too. So.
Yeah, but it's going to be all like PC and
I think that is
boring.
I think making a sequel like 20 years later
when you really
is the epitome of selling your soul.
When you really like look into a Farrelly Brothers movie, they're not that good.
The Farrelly Brothers, the ones that like they make garbage now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they made There's Something About Mary and other movies.
Okay, so.
But they're not great directors. I mean, I think Dumb and Dumber, like, they just had good actors. And There's Something About Mary was kind of the same.
Yeah.
But, like, I can't even remember the other movies they did because they were just that
There's
bad.
something more about Mary that you don't know yet. And I still know what you did last summer. Luis says, what do you mean by PC? Have you seen the trailer? Oh, he's calling you out. Put you on the spot.
No, it's just my assumptions.
I don't know. I haven't seen the trailer either. I don't know. I'm not. I just hate the idea of sequels. Like, I wanted this sequel back like 1 or 2 years after this movie came out, and I've been waiting. And now that it's finally here, it's like I just don't care anymore. It might end up being good. I'll at least give them. I'll at least watch the trailer to make a distinction. But I don't watch it now. I'll wait. But anyway, both Luis and Bloodish No 7 said that they never saw Kick-Ass 2. You didn't miss much. Ironically, the fact that that Jim Carrey went out and blasted it, like he was really the most vocal opponent of it. He was also the best part of the movie. Like in the same way Nicolas Cage was so great and so perfect in the first movie, Jim Carrey like felt that mantle.
Yeah.
And just like Nicolas Cage died too soon, and the movie would have been better with more of him. It was the same thing with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
So I think, if anything, the sequel got that right or wrong, depending on how you look at it.
I don't know. Just like his role in Kick-Ass 2 was just like I didn't recognize that was him.
Yeah.
I was like, where's Jim Carrey?
You got a dog on your balls.
Yeah, and then I think you had pointed out like that's that dude right there. That's Jim Carrey. I was like, no, what? That's incredible.
Yeah, it was great because it was like the least Jim Carrey-esque performance.
I haven't been that impressed with Jim Carrey performance since Truman Show.
That was a good movie.
I love the Truman Show. loved it. And I first saw it when it hit VHS.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in love with that movie. Well, I wouldn't say I was in love with it, but it was really great, and it opened my mind to other forms of cinema.
Yeah.
Not just like comedy movies, which comedy movies are very much part of my who I am and what I like in movies. And I just saw 22 Jump Street, which is pretty funny. Not as funny, but anyways, I'm getting off track.
Like I said,
but it got me more that movie and Shawshank Redemption. Those got me into the more dramatic movies, and that kind of opened my eyes to older forms of cinema, Jimmy Stewart movies and stuff like that. So, I attribute a lot of my more wider taste of liking movies to the Truman Show.
The more you know.
Yeah. So I don't know, seeing him in Kick-Ass 2, I was like, wow, dude, he just took it to the next level. It was like he still has it. I hadn't seen him in a movie in a while. I think the last one. Maybe the more recent one was the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I think that was probably the last Jim Carrey movie I saw, or at least the most recent one I had seen in memory.
There's that one where he's con artist. I forgot what it was called.
Oh no, we did watch
we watched that one.
Yeah, we stayed up all night because you had to go to. I
think I had to go to the airport.
So we just stayed up watching. We got 2 hours to kill.
It was what's eating Philip Morris?
No, I love you, Philip Morris.
I love you, Philip
Morris.
Morris.
Okay. Now, that was another really good one. Too.
That one was really weird, though. His acting was good, but it was the composition of the movie was really weird.
Yeah. Because you're not used to seeing a love story about two gay men, maybe.
That wasn't even the thing. I think it was more the edits of the movie, where it's just all of a sudden they're in this scene and then they're in this scene. Yeah. The way the actual physical movie was just put together.
Yeah.
But no, their love story was beautiful.
It was really crazy. It's just I don't know, at the end, he had it all together.
Yeah.
All he had to not do was go and take a piss, and then that lawyer recognized him.
Yeah,
and then it was over. I was like, no, I wanted you to be happy.
Well, and that's why you hold it.
It was he's got all these stellar performances under his belt. Now I'm my memory's all jogged up again. And then I thought he was just taking it to the next level with Kick-Ass. Oh man, he's taking. It's one thing to be great in a dramatic movie, or a suspenseful movie, but he really, from Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. Because I still kind of consider Kick-Ass, it's an action comedy.
Yeah.
And, he was just, trademark Jim Carrey funny, but, on a different level. To me, it was, on a Peter Sellers level. Because he was just so, unrecognizable. And, I actually did see Yes Man and the number 23. Jesus Christ. Myself, I think the only one I haven't seen was Lemony Snicket.
Okay, see, I missed all of those.
Jesus Christ, dude. I've seen more Jim Carrey movies than I can remember.
See, for me, The Truman Show was, the last of, his movies I saw up until, Eternal Sunshine. So I missed, all those... Oh, no, Bruce Almighty.
Number 23 wasn't... I think it was more confusing, but I really did like it towards the end. Because, the whole movie sets you up for, this really depressing ending, and then all of a sudden it's oh, well, it's happier than I thought it was going to be. That's not a bad. But then it's me loving Greek tragedies, I really would have loved if it was more tragic.
Okay, because I had read about it and I heard the ending was really bad.
No, the ending wasn't bad. I think maybe they were just, I don't know, without knowing anything, maybe they were just pressured to make it a happy movie instead of
Oh, okay, it ended happy. Okay,
it ended happy, and I wouldn't say it just came out of nowhere. It was kind of natural, I guess, from what I remember.
Yeah,
but I think maybe going having the happy ending made me happy. But I was just but if they actually took the risk and made it a bad ending and had his son die or whatever, or even him die, that would have been I think it would have been a more powerful movie.
Yeah. I never saw it. I just had read that the ending was he was the killer or something like that.
No.
He got a massage from the killer.
Yeah, I think that was
the killer changed his tire.
Yeah.
And he tipped him a nickel and everything.
Give a nickel and a coupon to Subway.
And then you'd see a tear come from the killer's eyes. I'll never kill again. And that's how it ended happy. He just walked off into the sunset and put in his application for Subway.
No, it was the 23 keeps popping up in his life, the number, and it drives him crazy. It's pretty much the premise of it.
Yeah,
and it starts affecting his family relationship and everything like that. But anyways, just full circle. So, seeing his stellar performance in Kick-Ass 2, I just thought he was like taking his acting chops to like a whole nother level.
Yeah.
On like the comedy level. Because even, his death scene in that movie, that's like really dramatic. And it's just like, no. It's just like, just his whole performance was incredible in that movie. It
really was. It was.
It just makes you feel like it was just a movie about him. Instead of Kick-Ass. It's like, why couldn't it just be about him?
I know.
And then it would have been a great tragic movie,
That was the thing about the Kick-Ass movies. It's like Kick-Ass is the least interesting part of any of those movies.
Yeah.
The first one is like Hit Girl and Big Daddy.
He's just so, like, unremarkable.
Yeah.
Like, he's fun, like, in the first one, and, like, his whole story is, like, interesting to a degree, but Kick-Ass, the character in general, is just very boring.
Yeah, like he definitely is more interesting in the first movie. In the second one, it's just like because they've already told that story, and it's like he doesn't really do much more than he did in the first one.
Yeah.
But to me, also Aaron Taylor Johnson, I just don't think he's that great of an actor.
He
after seeing Godzilla, and Savages.
Oh, that's right.
I have more Aaron Taylor Johnson under my belt to say
like,
that I've still not been impressed with him.
He's very basic. And he might be like nice to look at for.
He didn't do it for me.
Yeah, he didn't do it for me either.
Yeah, and he's no Channing Tatum.
He's no Channing.
No,
he definitely
Mike.
is no.
I like if he were in that Gimp mask, I would.
It would have been weird with his like frilly, curly cues like flowing
his
around.
Popping out of the top.
You would have thought it was like Carrot Top with a haircut or something. But I don't know. Then
I want to see the return of Carrot Top.
Then Jim Carrey, he backtracks on the whole movie and stuff, and then after seeing his performance, like, why? What the f is wrong with you? You know? I don't know. It just kind of it really irked me.
Yeah. I don't know. I really wish he would have embraced that movie. I mean, granted, he doesn't need more.
See, had he embraced it and done public appearances, I guarantee you the movie would have done at least $20 million better.
Okay.
But just to bring it all full circle, to blame pirating for lack of the movie's success is dumb. Well, I think it's irresponsible, highly irresponsible.
Well, she's a kid, all right. She doesn't know any better.
Yeah, I think she's been in the industry long enough to know. I mean, she probably thinks she knows what she's talking about, but nah. I wouldn't blame pirating. I mean, Game of Thrones, highest pirated thing ever. Also highest grossing.
Sir, you can't bring that up, all right? That negates my argument.
And
that is evidence,
the
empirical.
The whole thing with the music industry. Dozens and thousands and millions of songs right now are getting downloaded, quote-unquote, illegally.
So you're saying that Terror Records...
And they're saying that it's taken money out of their pockets.
Okay, so I found some movies that did come out.
The next crap album that shouldn't even exist from 50 Cent or whomever, goes double platinum.
Hey.
And how much money did we take out of... How much money did we take out of his pocket?
They said, Fitty, switch the style up.
It's what's marketable that sells.
Let them hate and watch the money pile up.
Shut up.
He's not really... he doesn't even make music anymore. I thought he was an actor now.
He's coming out with the album.
Oh, is he?
Jaw Rule and reigniting his beef with the game. And he's going to drop his album at the same time as the game or something like that.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of miss Jaw Rule. He was just he's so terrible. He was just like...
He's like a wannabe mini DMX.
But he's just like the perfect punchline. Like...
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, he just seems like... He's like, if you were watching a movie and he's like that terrible character...
Carrie said something really funny.
Ja Rule acting career, that exists.
Yeah, what was that role me and Beetle made fun of? He did a movie... Well, he did many movies.
Didn't even do one with Stallone?
He did one with Steven Seagal where they were in jail. And he says something to Steven Seagal. It was just so laughable. Like, you ratted on me, Steven Seagal's character. Some shit like... I don't know what he was saying. I'm
tired of being lonely.
No, he was just like, I don't know if I can trust you. Nah, mean. Some shit like that. I don't know. But that movie is so bad. The warden's name was El Fuego, which means the flame. And he had a flame, a flame-broiled tattoo on his neck. I was like, how cheesy can this movie get? It was like, there's none of these people look like they work in prison.
Yeah.
The warden, you would think would be a guy in a suit, or at least in some kind of law outfit. But he's just wearing like a jacket and pants. Like really stylish jacket and pants. Like, I'm El Fuego. I am the warden of this place.
Well, I mean...
And it was like Alcatraz for some reason. Like, they had reopened Alcatraz.
I don't know. Any movie that
movie's dumb.
Any movie that casts Ja Rule is instantly going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Unless it's a comedy and he dies in like the first 5 minutes. Like, if it's like this is the end and he gets sucked into that first hole, then other than that, it's just not going to work. But no, I mean, I do agree with the assessment that it's hard nowadays, especially with so many films being pirated. It's hard to blame piracy on Kick-Ass 2 not being successful. And I can definitely see what you're saying with like Jim Carrey bashing it probably did hurt it because there's really.
I think that's what hurt it the most, or at all. I think that's bar none what hurt it.
Yeah,
and then the fact that the movie already wasn't very popular. Like, they had to go, pull strings and push this movie as hard as they could to hit the first one. I mean, to hit the masses.
Yeah, it was already kind of an indie film.
Yeah, they had a really hard time pushing this movie to a nationwide release.
Yeah.
So it was going to be even harder to push the second one out when there's no like core demographic to appeal to, when they're not trying to pull back any punches and be like, this movie's raw, this is what it is, we're not gonna we'll take the R rating, we're not gonna try to make this. Like, when you think of that, I understand why they make a R-rated movie a PG-13 to appeal to more people. I get it now. I get it just right now, like literally I get it. And that's why it didn't do so well. And then I wouldn't even attribute too much of that to it. Its lack of success. I think it's hands down the Jim Carrey backing out, and like, I'm part of this movie. I gave this great performance in it, incredible performance. In my opinion, it was awesome.
Yeah,
like, fantastic.
Oh yeah,
I have no better words, and just it was like fantastic. Like, I was like hugely impressed. It was just great. And the things he said, I think that's what hurt it the most, hands down.
I think one of the other things, because even being a huge fan of the first movie as I was, I really wasn't waiting for a sequel.
Yeah,
even though it kind of ended with McLovin at the end, where it's like, wait until you get a whole load of me. It's just like, okay,
it was delivered so badly.
But yeah, it was. But even so, it was just like, I didn't feel like, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens next. It's like, Big Daddy's already dead. I don't care.
Right,
this is like the best part of the movie is already dead. So it's like, when I heard the Kick-Ass 2, I'm like, I'll see it. I like the first one.
Right.
I want to see more Hit Girl. But other than that, it was just like, I wasn't on the edge of my seat, like, waiting for this movie. And I felt like a lot of people probably were in that category as well.
Were you on the edge of tomorrow?
I was, actually. Great film, by the way. Tom Cruise. Don't call it a comeback, because he never left.
Were you on the edge of glory?
No, I was on the edge of tomorrow, sir, because all you need is kill. But no, Edge of Tomorrow is fantastic.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Without me?
Yeah. Yeah. I already told you that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did we talk about it already?
We did. We were reliving the same day again. You still don't remember. But I remember because I have the powers to
if
go
anybody
back
in the chat has actually read the manga, how does it compare?
Aha.
Okay, well, I mean, did we talk about it on the last podcast?
We might have, but I can talk about it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, the thing you have to realize, well, it doesn't really hurt the movie at all, but you see it and you think it's just an action movie, or even kind of an action genre.
That's kind of how I felt about Jack Reacher, and then when I saw it, I was like 80% of my attention was on it.
Yeah.
But it was still like, I really liked the movie. Like, I'd give it another go through and give it 98% of my attention.
Yeah, dude,
100% is just impossible.
I love Tom Cruise's character in that. It's like, sir, I'm going to call the police. It's like, you need to show me something. How about the inside of an ambulance?
Yeah, he's just so like serious. He's just so like infallible, like unbelievable. Like a person like this doesn't exist without having like a leg missing.
I just like how when he's sitting there in the hotel with that chick and he has his shirt off, it just looks like he's trying so hard to push out his abs that he's just like strutting around.
Like he's just sweating, his face sweat pouring down his face, just struggling so hard.
Like, I don't know if it was intentional, but it just made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
It's like, what is he doing? Like, is he trying to seduce her? Is he trying to be casual?
He's probably thinking of Katie that whole time. Like, what bitch is probably watching this now? Just like, oh my god, that's what I left.
Yeah. He's like, she knows she.
I mean, that's what he's thinking. I don't think she's thinking.
Well, I thought he upgraded because I thought the whole thing was like all of his wives. They only like or with him up to a certain age that they're at, and then he gets rid of him and gets another one.
I think she literally escaped. She didn't leave him. She escaped.
That's what they said. But if you look at it statistically, he doesn't take any wives over 26 or something like that.
Really?
I don't know what the actual age is. I'm sure it's not 26.
80?
Yeah, he's timeless.
I don't know if you could.
Apparently, you didn't see Interview with the Vampire because he is timeless. Sir.
I wouldn't consider leaving Nicole Kidman.
Okay, well, true, it's not an upgrade. But
yeah, that's not an upgrade. Kate Holmes is cute, but she's like that sweet girl next door cute.
Yeah. Plus, she wasn't great in Batman Begins, and that's the greatest sin.
Yeah, she's got the foreigner thing going. Aussie.
Who?
Nicole
Kidman.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
and she looks like a model. So
great in Batman Forever, by the way.
And they were both in Batman too. So I mean, Holmes was in the far superior Batman Begins. But
yes, but for its time, it was okay. Yeah, Jim Carrey. She's
like the worst part of that. Her and Maggie Gyllenhaal, just like both poor acting choices.
I didn't think Maggie Gyllenhaal was bad.
Yeah.
I like the part.
I think had she been in the first one as well, I wouldn't have been so angry about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even angry, but just so disagreeable.
I don't know. I felt like she did her job, and I felt like
she did. But it's if we had the character consistency with her being in the first as well, it would have worked out really well, like the movie franchise as a whole. But the fact that they changed from Katie Holmes to Maggie Gyllenhaal, I felt with that inaccuracy kind of killed her performance in the second one. Although it was very good.
If Game of Thrones can do it, sir, change actors all the time.
Yeah, but they changed
If Heath Ledger could do it, sir.
Screw you. The Mountain doesn't count. He was been in 4 episodes. A total of 20 minutes screen time.
Where did that beard come from? Come on. Guys can't just grow beards.
Well, he was in 3 episodes as well. Granted, for maybe a little bit longer than 20 minutes total screen time. But I think it was forgivable when we were talking about a whole damn movie franchise.
Clearly, the CGI on the dragons was changed from season to season.
Shut up, man. And how was Edge of Tomorrow, you son of a bitch?
First of all, it was totally slept on, and Emily Blunt equals heart. Thank you, Carrie Figueroa.
She's a really great actor.
Yeah.
I first saw her in Sunshine Clothing Company. Whatever that movie was called. I think I just butchered it really bad.
Like Eternal Sunshine.
But that was a good movie. I don't remember a whole lot what it was about, but she was...
Was it Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis?
No. Never watching that movie. I think I'm kind of just done with Bruce. You know what? Let's just not focus on Bruce Willis.
So, Edge of Tomorrow. So, first of all, yeah, so it looks like it's just going to be this balls to the wall action movie. It's not. It's so much more than that. And there's a lot of comedic elements, especially in the beginning.
Is it a cerebral film?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No.
It's the first half of the film, you really feel like you're playing a video game. It literally got me back into... I hadn't played Metal Gear Solid because I kept getting killed. And then I saw that movie, I'm like, no, if Tom Cruise can do it, so can I.
I remember this part of our conversation before. But no, it's worth repeating.
It's really good. It's just so hilarious because it is literally like a video game where it's because he's memorized the day pretty much. So he knows where all the villains and stuff are coming from. So it's like playing an old school video game where you have to memorize every single pattern and one false move can kill you. Yeah. So it's great in that regard. Luis actually pointed out where I was going towards, where he said Edge of Tomorrow is amazing. The ending is your typical Hollywood changed ending, and it's a minor gripe. The ending wasn't great, and it starts off where it seems like it's going to end with a more tragic ending. You're like, oh man, I can't believe they ended it like that. And then it's almost like someone came in and just it said and it was the end, and then someone just deleted that and then wrote this last little 20 minutes, and it's But I mean, it doesn't kill the film. The film is still very good. Tom Cruise is excellent. All you Tom Cruise haters out there, watch Edge of Tomorrow and see if you can still hate the man. I mean, you probably can still hate the man.
I don't hate Tom Cruise.
I don't hate him either. I think he's
just hate him in The Last Samurai. That's it.
I like him.
And all the stuff from the 90s, I don't I ignore it. Days of Thunder.
Okay.
Top Gun. Risky Business. I don't watch any of that 80s shit.
So I guess that's the thing. Other than Top Gun, I never really seen any of his older stuff. Like, my first introduction to Tom Cruise, like, knowing who he really was like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, Mission Impossible.
Yeah. So I never really had, like...
No, your introduction to Tom Cruise was Top Gun, because that was, like, your favorite movie as a kid.
But, I mean, I watched it all the time. Well, that's what I said.
Post-Matrix.
Yeah.
Post-Matrix.
Other than Top Gun. But it's just... Luis says, did you just diss Top Gun, Jay? Get out! Dude, Luis is standing on his balcony with Goose's dog tags going,
I'll see you later.
But, he was in Top Gun. But it's like one of those movies where it's like, I guess what I mean is like when I knew like this is who this actor is, I know him beyond just this role. Because obviously Val Kilmer was in there, and I didn't know who the hell Val Kilmer was.
And that guy from ER.
Yeah, which I've never seen.
With the glasses. Tall, lanky guy. I think he was Goose.
Was it House?
MD. My name is Hugh Laurie.
But I highly recommend it. It's great. I mean, I wish they would have done like a less typical ending, but it doesn't take away from it. And especially if you love video games, like it gives you like those feelings, like gives you
more lives.
But you just know that
someone did the Contra codes.
It's just like that frustration. It's not even just having all those lives. It's just like when he gets to like a point where he like. Because he's trying to get to, his objective. I don't want to spoil it.
Mr. Rage Quit?
Well, he almost does rage quit. There's one part where he's just like at a bar drinking, and he's just like, I can't do this anymore.
Is it just like an action version of Groundhog Day? Like, because that's what it's starting to sound like.
Well, I've never seen Groundhog Day, but it probably...
Groundhog Day, I used to hate on Groundhog Day. Because I remember seeing Groundhog Day, but not, this was like my What About Bob age.
Yeah.
Like, so What About Bob's very simple, and it's easy to laugh at. And then Groundhog Day... Not so much. Do you remember certain things? Like, obviously, he tries to relive every day. And I was like, that wasn't that good of a movie. And then I growing up, I kept thinking that. And then I caught it on TV maybe a year ago. And I was like, oh, my God. I forgot how great this movie... I didn't understand this movie when I first saw it. That's why it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
That's why I thought What About Bob was like the pinnacle of his movie, of all his movies.
Yeah.
But then I saw Groundhog Day. I was like, this movie's genius. It's great. This is a great film. I love it. I had a newfound love for that movie. So Groundhog Day, really great. So he's just reliving the same day, trying to fix his mistakes.
Oh, I see.
And he's, then he starts purposely killing himself every day, or he eats whatever he wants one day, and he plays chicken with the train and loses, obviously.
Yeah.
And he wakes up at 6 a.m. every day.
Okay.
And he's trying to figure out why this is happening, and he's trying to see what he needs to do. And it's more of a love story.
Gotcha.
But like Edge of Tomorrow kind of feels like
it is very similar in that vein because when he dies, he does reset the day.
Yeah.
And so it's similar in that. But I guess with him, it's less having to do with him personally. It's more having to do with like destroying the alien race or whatever that's invading them. But Carrie Figueroa says Bill Murray is a demigod.
Well, yeah, dude. I wish you could see me now. I'm going to take a picture.
Yeah, Agamemnon is now sporting the Bill effing Murray shirt. So I think he disagrees, though, that he's a demigod. He is the one true God, the Lord of Light. For the night is dark and full of groundhogs.
And Slimers.
Yeah. Hey, but he ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Anyways.
Praise the Murray.
I'm butchering it.
But so Edge of Tomorrow is great. I haven't read the manga yet. I'm going to probably pick it up at some point because I really want to read it and see how it differs and see. Because it's like, if that is the case, that it actually is a good translation, we have the first well-translated manga to screen.
Yeah, I actually had the series saved on my phone. Like, I started following it. But I haven't had a chance to... Well, actually, I haven't had a chance to read anything. I've kind of slipped on my one book a month challenge that I gave myself at the beginning of the year.
Still have not read Song of Ice and Fire?
No, I started reading...
I can almost touch it from here.
I finished reading Fahrenheit 451. That was good. And then I started reading... It's there, okay? I finished my what do you call it? My Cold Fire trilogy, and I started reading... Oh, it was a collection of Oscar Wilde plays, and it also had his only story, which
Oscar
was
Gone Wild.
Yeah, The Portrait of Dorian Gray.
Lots of tits.
I didn't get a chance to finish it all. I was starting one of his plays, and it's really like intricate, and the characters when they're talking are like one dude. It's two dudes having a conversation. I forgot what the play was called, But the one guy of the two guys speaks for like a page and a half.
Wow.
And we're talking like 10-point print.
Yeah.
Small. And he's talking for a page and a half. And after a while, I was like, how do I read this 4-line sentence? Dude, this is insane.
That's funny.
So, yeah, like then I started school, so it kind of eliminated my reading time at work.
How ironic.
Yeah. But, yeah, I was thinking about skipping it altogether because that was my 6th book. And we're starting month 7 as of tomorrow.
We're almost there. Well, you're not too far behind.
No, but I mean, considering I was on book 2 in January, and then I didn't read till April, and I did like 3, 4, and 5. Like,
okay, so this is really self-inflicted. Then is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't know what. Maybe I'll just do Ice and Fire. But I feel like I already know these stories.
But you don't. You think you know.
I think I. Yeah.
But you don't know.
Don't do Real World. Don't do Real World.
Now, I mean,
you have no idea.
The first and second books are very close to the show, so I mean, you're not missing that much, but it does diverge a lot in the third and fourth.
Maybe I'll just start there.
No, you should totally read the first one. Plus, I'm reading the third one again. So
I'll read the first one if I get 2 more thumbs up from the chat room.
Chat, thumbs up, folks.
And if at least one of them has read the books.
They've all read the books, even if they don't know it
Have
yet.
They? I can tell if they're lying on the
Anyway, so apparently
my new class has taught me how.
Yeah.
Not to this degree, though.
Is it Tim Roth? Lie to me?
Yeah. The way he types the I, I'm looking at the I. I know he's been lying. Dirty little bastard.
Tim Roth, great actor. Anyway, Wonder Woman has got a new creative team. So apparently a husband-wife duo has taken over Wonder Woman's monthly comic.
Another one.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it started out with a husband-wife duo.
So it's artist David Finch and writer Meredith Finch.
Oh.
I think it's really...
David... Oh, no, wait. Who's the artist Finch?
David Finch is the one that did Moon Knight. And
yeah, he's the artist, isn't he?
Yeah.
I hate his art. When I first got back in the comics in 02, 03, I loved his art on New Avengers.
Yeah.
I think that was 03. I hate it now. Everyone looks... Well, I'd probably not say... I think at the time, they just looked weird. Like, the shading is very similar to Rob Liefeld's.
I wouldn't.
Not the art style, but I'd say just like the shading.
I think
he just draws like really like super defined muscles.
Yeah,
like they have no body fat. I was like, what is wrong with these people?
She's an Amazon warrior, sir.
They look like pro wrestlers.
I
don't like it.
No, I will say that I like his art, but I think it's for me that's more like '90s nostalgia. And his art style is very '90s. Like him, like Jim Lee is probably like the only '90s-ish artist that I think like still gets
big on Jim Lee, but I recognize that his art kind of transcends.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
things, and it's still like some of his stuff still feels modernized.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
Not like stuck in the past.
Yeah, he's one of the few to kind of transition where he still kind of gets that respect that a lot of the other ones don't.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, David Finch is kind of the typical comic artist, but I don't know. I enjoy it for what it is. But it's definitely not like the Brian Hitch where it's like more. There's not that real level of realism that's there.
Right.
But I just thought it was really ironic because DC seems to be so against marriage in comics.
Yeah.
That it's funny that they actually have like a married couple doing a comic. So I wonder if they're going to try and make them divorce to work on the comic. It's like, oh, no, you're sending the wrong impression to our readers, and they're going to try to get married and not read comics anymore. So,
yeah.
I don't know. But I don't really know much about the writer, Meredith Finch, but I think people will be happy. Assuming Meredith is actually a woman, the people will be happy that Wonder Woman is written by a woman. Since DC seems to not know what to do with their female characters, I think that could potentially be a step in the right direction.
Right.
So we'll see. This is her Wonder Woman. Okay, so it is her. So Wonder Woman series, I didn't want to assume because people can love whoever they want. If I want to get married to Game of Thrones, I can get married to Game of Thrones, damn it. Anyway, so her Wonder Woman series will showcase her relationship with her Amazon sisters and the Justice League. Wonder Woman is flawed and doesn't always have the right answers. She will take inspiration from the portrayal by the TV actress Linda Carter.
Nice.
So it says Wonder Woman has been in the spotlight like never before. She'll be betrayed. Okay, people already know that. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. So Wonder Woman, check it out. I might at least going to try and give the first issue a read. This actually brings me to another comic that I don't have the article for, but Storm of X-Men fame is also getting her own series.
Yeah, I believe Chris Rachel posted the article on
Extraordinary. I'm gonna see if I can find it here. Oh, and it's not only is it Storm, it's Mohawk Storm.
Well, she's been Mohawk Storm for a while, like a year or two now.
Yeah, no, but I'm glad that the Mohawk. Sir, I saw the panel where she cut her hair. All right, and she broke up with Black Panther, and Wolverine cut her hair with his claws.
Would you Google it?
No.
Did you buy the comic?
No.
What comic was it?
I don't know, because I didn't read the comic.
I was hoping you'd say yes so I could do that file. I was like, well, I got nothing else, so I might as well just go with that.
I don't know. I think I did Google it. It was on some article I was reading. I think the article was literally just about her getting her Mohawk back. I think it was on the Mary Sue. Oh. Yeah, it was on Wolverine and the X-Men issue 124. That's exactly what I was going to say. Written by Greg Pak. Day Night issue. I didn't read that from
How
Louise.
do you know these things, Louise? What the hell,
Because he is the Oracle, sir, and you respect him as such.
I just baffled at how good he is at knowing this stuff. Like, have you told me if I had to, like, if aliens abducted me and they're just like, can any one man know that much about comics? I would if I had never met Luis, I would confidently be like, no, just kill us now because
there was
nobody
no
can do it. That's not possible. But now, if I get abducted by aliens and they're like, you know, the life of everyone on Earth lies on your answer. Like, is there any one man who knows that much about comics? And I'd be like, yes. And you need to go to Connecticut, whatever city he lives in, because his name is Luis, the comic board Cassiano.
And then they're gonna send down like an ice bridge for him instead of to bring him up.
Only because I told them to. And then they'll like slide down, but it'll be like really slippery and they'll lose balance, and a few fall off and fall to their death.
He's like, well, this isn't gonna work now.
Yeah.
But it was a nice gesture.
Yeah.
So we'll just use the tractor beam.
Yeah.
Don't let us down, Luis. Okay, it's issue number 24, not 124. So 24 like Jack Bauer.
Now it's just became a Bone Thugs song. I don't wanna die. Ooh, so.
And I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. Gotta be strong, gotta be strong, gotta be strong. Hey.
Gotta get dog, but need to move on.
And we pray, and we pray, and we pray, and we pray. Every day, every day, every day, every day. So the art's gonna be done by Victor
Hugo.
Yeah, Victor Hugo. Victor Von Doom. Victor Ibizin, who did Captain Midnight and The Adventures of Superman. So I'm very much not familiar with him.
Me too.
But I'm looking at the interior art. It looks pretty cool. Looks like she is...
Is he going to be on there for one issue and then they're going to switch him out with a less good artist?
Marvel wouldn't do that. Come on. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they will maybe last an arc together and it will be a completely different creative team by the time people start enjoying it.
There you go.
So, yeah. So get excited, folks, because that's Marvel.
Get high.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been in the comic store in a while, so I need to update my pull list. So that might be one of those.
For me.
It's been like a month for me, if not more. So
wow.
I'm having.
Well, you know, I think after 6 or 7 weeks they kill your pull list.
Well,
I don't think they actually do. And this month's supposed to be really busy for Tribe.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Tribe Comics and Games over there off of Manchac. They're actually moving to
across Manchac.
Yeah, across Manchac to Lamar, right next to Torchy's Tacos. South Lamar, where Kirby Lane is.
But won't people get delicious tacos on their delicious comics?
I went to Game Over Video Games. It's right there in that shopping center.
Yeah.
And I went to go pre-order Gundam Reborn before I knew all the information that I now know. Little side tangent here. Well, I don't have to say side tangent, just tangent, right? There's a tangent to this tangent.
I think everything we'd say is a tangent, so.
But not a side tangent.
It's
or
more
is that kind of like a redundant term?
A redundant tangent?
Yeah.
On the side?
Yeah.
Could be.
Like pickles. Because nobody likes to eat that shit in their burgers.
I hate them.
Nobody. Anyways, I went to Game Over Video Games to pre-order that game, and they were like, yeah, we don't do pre-orders. I mean, he didn't. That sounded really dickish.
We don't do pre-orders here?
No, he was like, I was like, do you guys pre-order games here? And they were like, no. No, we don't. Like kind of worried, sounding like
we're gonna lose out.
I don't want to break this guy's heart. You know, that's what it felt like he was thinking. Like, I don't want to break this guy's heart. How do I let him down?
You can't pre-order a 20-year-old game, sir.
Yeah, I was like, do you guys do pre-orders here? And he was like, no, I'm afraid not, or something like that. And I was just like, oh. He was like,
voice
what? That's how he sounded.
He sounds like the hippie guy in King of the Hill.
He kind of did sound. He was just like this, like really pale but kind of pleasantly timid ginger. That's like literally what this dude was.
Nice.
And so he was like, "What game were you trying to pre-order?" Well, the cynic in my head was just like, "What the fuck does it matter anymore? You don't do pre-orders." I was like, "It's a Dynasty Warriors Gundam game," and I was hoping he would just leave it at that. And he was like, "Yeah, no, we don't do pre-orders."
They make those?
And then it was kind of awkward. And I was like, well, do you guys do tournaments? Are you guys going to have a tournament anytime soon?
Uh-huh.
And he was like, yeah, actually, later in the month, we're going to be doing a Rival Schools tournament.
Oh, nice.
And then Hibiki asked all the right questions, like when and you know, what time. And it's going to be on the 18th. It's like July 18th on a Friday.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be a day.
If you can get that day off, dude. He was like, yeah, we're actually going to get the game set up around noon so people can come in and practice all day, and then we'll start the tournament around 6. So I was like,
I'll be there at midnight.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's over.
We need to coax them into doing like SNK vs. Capcom or something like that.
Yeah, Capcom SK2.
Yeah.
I never actually played. Yeah, see, Carrie's like Roberto Shoma all day, every day. I'm sure you know those characters. I don't.
I say Sakura all day.
See, Carrie, you need to make the trip down here,
Every
and I'll
day.
take you down there and take the credit for bringing you to this tournament. Probably just noobs that come in. Like I think the majority of people that go to like the Game Over things, and I'm not trying to be all like this is the only kind of people. Not even elitist, or just like trying to like stereotype them or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like the majority of the people that show up, they're like are primary like melee players. And not particularly like good ones, just people that really enjoy the game and love like that aspect of the fighting community, maybe. Even if they're not.
Be my Don King.
There you go.
Only
well, see, there's a problem because I don't really have hair.
Not yet. Lucy in Disguise costume shop.
Oh my god, Lucy in Disguise. Oh my god, taking it to that South Congress route.
Oh yeah, right across from Hey Cupcake. Shout outs to Hey Cupcake. And the sugar comber they put me in
earlier. They should sponsor us with their sugar-coated goodness.
Yeah. They just give us bags of sugar.
Habiki's just nodding. Welcome.
Yes, we're now joined by Habiki Jen.
Hello, people.
Yeah, don't sound so confident.
Hi, are you guys listening to a podcast right now? Because that's really cool.
You're listening to a mouse talking.
I had a french fry in my mouth. I didn't want to be rude.
Oh. Well.
Look at you with your manners. But now, you know what we should do?
Chat says hello.
Well, I guess...
Who says hello?
The chat.
Yes. Hello!
Carrie Figueroa's in the
Bubble
chat,
says
Luis is in the chat, and...
Hello, gentlemen. So it's all guys, yeah?
Of course.
Of course.
Welcome to
the ladies don't like us.
Welcome to the sausage party,
except
pal.
Melanie and Rachel, but they're doing stuff, I think.
But Rachel is in another state.
I predict Melanie will be here in... like right when the show ends.
Alright, you're on. I bet you a french fry that
25
eating
minutes.
that you won't show up.
I bet you a french fry that she will show up.
Alright. Well, by the time it's over, there will be no french fries.
That's right.
For either person.
We'll eat our own french fries.
What? Anyway, so...
What was I saying, though?
We were talking about tournaments. We can talk about...
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, Lisa Nova. It's actually Kelly Nova.
Is that Kelly Nova's like sister? Lisa
yeah,
Nova?
I think she's recuperating from VidCon this past weekend. She went, her and Ace went.
There's a Lisa
Novak.
Novak.
Laughing the side of my eye. Like, ho, ho, ho. Yeah, and then they're going to be doing Rooster Teeth Expo this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to try and make it. If I can ever charge my camera, I might try to actually record it.
Yeah, I was hoping my suspension would take place this weekend so I could go, like, bar none, not have to worry about much.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen until, like, the end of, like, the 18th, I think, is when it's going to happen.
Weak sauce.
No, the 24th. That's when.
Weak sauce.
So, anyways, no Gundam game. I went to GameStop.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
I went to GameStop. I broke. How long was it? They had my 736 phone number.
Oh wow.
I had changed it like twice since then, hadn't I?
Yes.
Because then it was a 468 number, and then I changed it to 921.
736 is from our T-Mobile days.
Yeah, which was
like 3 years ago.
Well, over 2 years. It was. We've had AT&T for like 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah,
there you go. And
that's when I changed to the 468, and then 921 like a year later.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Getting too into the details about phone numbers.
Make your own Gundams and paint the town. Yeah, I will. I was actually looking up model kits the other day. Some reasonably priced ones. Anyways, so I went to GameStop to pre-order the game, and the guy's trying to find it, and he was like, "Is there a collector's version?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't think so." It's like game's just coming out, and there was still info I didn't know about the game, so I was being dumb. And he was just like, "Yeah, I'm not seeing it here," and I was being all pissy, like, once again, GameStop fails me. Why do I bother ever coming here?
Oh, GameStop.
And then earlier today, I was searching on the internet, like, on GameStop for the game.
Yeah.
And they didn't have it. It was Dynasty Warriors Gundam Reborn.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have it. So I was like, why don't they have this game? So I started looking up, trying to find forums on Google and stuff. And I came across an article. I wish I could credit the site that had it, but can't remember what it was. But they linked to the PlayStation, one of the PlayStation websites. And you can only pre-order it through the website. Because it turns out the game is downloadable only. Luckily, it's only $40. So that's the good thing.
You think one of these many reputable game sites would probably have mentioned that?
There's no... Yeah, there wasn't like outright, but yeah.
Because if you think about like with Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, like it was a huge thing that it was like DLC.
Yeah.
Well, that in $20. But it's like everyone knew that going in. It was like Gundam, they can't at least like, hey, by the way.
I think it's such an obscure game, though, that I think that they felt like, who the fuck is going to care anyways?
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, Jay.
But even so,
I cared a lot, dude. I searched for that shit for like 2 hours.
Well, then, do you think that they made it that way because they're not making new games for the PS3?
I think that's one possibility, but this game came out in Japan in January.
For the PS3.
For the PS3, and PS4 barely came out in freaking November. So the game was already in production, I think, well before.
Yeah, and they're still cranking out some PS3 games. I don't know. I actually blame the journalists for not.
But there's rumors.
Yeah, there's get all of your news from punchingthewallsreality.com.
The game looks really good, and hopefully I'll get a chance to play it tonight because I'll be able, hopefully, if everything goes good with PSN Network, I can download it right because it's going to be available the first of the month, which is like. I don't know, 4 hours. Okay, I have bad math. 2.5 hours. So hopefully around midnight it'll start downloading automatically once I turn my PlayStation on, and I'll have the game and I can check it out. I'm like the minute I turn it on, it's gonna be nonstop. Like all my gameplay is just gonna be footage. Like I'm recording everything.
It's like even
I'm gonna review comics. I'm gonna review comics. I'm gonna review comics, and it's just gonna be Gundam footage with me talking about like Super or something like that.
They have like with a Gundam manga.
Yeah, they have a couple, but I don't know. I prefer the anime more.
You know, that's a cardinal sin in those their parts.
I guess. Well, it's like I prefer the Naruto manga more than I do the anime. Kind of sick of it. I haven't even watched it in like 2 years. Like I don't want to watch any of these fights. I just want this stupid manga to be over with.
It will never be over.
But yeah, I saw it for $40, and you get the Bear Gundam DLC.
The Bear Jew Gundam.
The Bear. I wish it was, dude. Freaking Eli Roth with the baseball bat Gundam. That'd be awesome. That's incredible. No, it literally looks like a big fucking teddy bear. Big brown teddy bear.
Is it even like
with a 6-pack? I think.
No, really?
It's something like that. It's really
so it's
odd
the Arrow Bear Gundam.
Yeah, this is the Arrow Bear Gundam. I don't know. The game looks really good, but supposedly there's rumor that they're gonna release it for PS4 because it's only available via the PSN store, only on PS3, not even Xbox.
PlayStation.
and they're gonna release it. Supposedly, they're gonna release it later in the year or next year on PS4, but with more characters, levels, story capabilities.
Oh, I see.
Because they're doing like a dynamic mode on this one, where you're actually gonna be able to play through the story of Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam Zeta. I think Char's counterattack and Gundam Seed for some reason. I thought that was like the most like vilified Gundam series.
So still no Wing.
Yeah, still no love. Yeah, still no Wu Fei Chang, no Catcher Rabana Baba Ranari, whatever the hell. He's got a weird last name.
Banana Rama tape.
Yeah. And still no Leo mass mobile suits, dude. The Leos are like one of the coolest ones. They're like the Zakus of the 90s.
Maybe one day.
But I digress.
So in other words, we will not see you for a long time because you'll be playing Dance Warriors Gundam.
Yeah, well, luckily, I got my last 13 online missions in to get my final trophy for Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. Sir,
just in the
I've
nick
gone
of time.
Platinum. I'll find out tonight if it's better than Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. But they went away from the CG. I guess the whole reason, the cell shaded. I'm sorry. The whole reason why they went with cell shaded for the third one was so that they could fit in more characters and bad guys on the levels. But they did away with that, and I guess they found a way around it. But they did a lot of more dynamic stuff. And yeah, it's the same like hack and slash stuff that you've come to expect from Dynasty Warriors. But they've given a little bit more variety, I guess. And then the stories, they just much more cinematic stuff, so they keep you like really into it. And the slashes and stuff, they're a lot flashier. So I don't know. There's a lot of like different cool aspects that I'm like really eager to try out. And hopefully, I can review and upload some footage later in the week. Congratulations on that platinum trophy, sir. Yeah, should melt it down and make it into a grill. I feel good. Yeah, if anybody here has PS3 and wants to play some Juegos and wants to gasp, add me right now, J Agamemnon. Put it right there in the feed. Jägerbomb. I haven't played Marvel. I've really been like missing Marvel. I saw Nat playing earlier today, and I'm like, man, I really want to play some Marvel now, but I really want to finish this fucking game because I've already achieved everything I needed. Now it's even less likely to happen. Well, I thought Reborn was coming out later in the month, so I was like, there was no rush. And then today I found out. I was like, it's coming out tomorrow? I was like, then none of these kids that are playing that right now are going to play this game as of tonight. Yeah. I need to get these 13 missions in. Oh, I see. You know, so like, yeah, I put like import priority on it, just like to finish it so that it wouldn't be like this, like searching diligently like some random Tuesday night for people that are playing just to never find them. Yeah. And just have that trophy elude me altogether. I don't want to live with that. So I went from no rush to premium rush. There you go. Well, brings us to our next topic. What has nothing to do with any of that. So I tire of the Gundam. Never. So I'm sure most, if not all of you, are on this social networking site by the name of Facebook. And we know that they're obviously great when it comes to privacy, and they cherish it so very much. And so that's why I'm sure most of you are very shocked. So shocked that they secretly used 689,003 people for a psychological experiment. So there's been a lot of outrage concerning this, and people have been like, how dare you spy on me, Facebook, even though you always spy on me, Facebook. And so pretty much what they were doing, the gist of it, from what I gathered, I skimmed the article. I didn't have time to read that. I got Game of Thrones to read. Exactly. But what they did is they were changing people's Facebook feeds. And some people got mostly negative Facebook articles that would come up in their feed, and people got mostly positive articles. And they were trying to see, I guess, like how to gauge like how people in their own feeds would react based on seeing more positive and more negative news. Now, this was posted by friends or like? I think it would be friends and probably also advertisements. Okay. So just in general, yeah. Let's say if like you had 5 people post something, or let's say you had 10 people post about stuff that and like 8 of it is like, or let's say it's like 50-50. Half is positive, half is negative. They'd filter out most of the positive stuff and just show you all the negative stuff, or vice versa. Right. So, yeah, so they pretty much, conducted this wide psychological experiment. And, so most people were pretty pissed off. They're like, this is a violation of our privacy.
etc., etc., which it is. But at the same time, so the Mary Sue was talking about the story, and they kind of came on Facebook's defense. They're like, well, for one, it's a really interesting study to see how that affects people.
It is.
And they're saying, and if you think about it, also, you do sign the terms and conditions where you don't sign. So
you agree to them.
Yeah, so you agree to them. So they kind of are on the side of Facebook. But it's kind of interesting, though, because nobody reads that stuff. Well, except for Agamemnon, because we've had this conversation before.
Yeah,
he does read it.
So he's the 1 out of 6 billion that actually read.
Yeah.
That's right.
But, yeah, so I don't know. So a lot of people actually took issue with the Mary Sue as well. Like, how dare you defend this? Because it's like, still, even if it is in the terms and conditions, it would have been nice. They're like, hey, you're going to be involved in this study. You know, do you agree or whatever? So people still feel kind of pissed off.
Well, it's not even do you agree. It's like you've already agreed to the terms and conditions. That's bar none. That's irrefutable.
Yeah.
If you didn't read it, that's your fucking fault.
Hey, it should be read to me, sir. I'm an American, all right? Did you not hear the Captain America song?
Well, in the capitalist nation, you have to pay somebody to read it to you. So,
well,
unless you just have like a diligent lackey that'll just, yes, master, I do it for you because I love you.
So
Senpai, notice me.
So you're saying that I need a squire?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
You need your own egg.
Well, someone pledge their loyalty to me. Luis says the South Park episode that poked fun at people who don't read terms and conditions. That was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that one was funny. Where Kyle he gets like.
Yeah, you get the centipede.
Yeah, the centipede. I didn't see it. I didn't see that one, but
it was.
I
pretty
remember
hilarious.
Gerard Fuzzy Slippers talking about it, and he was like disturbed by it.
What happened?
Well, they do the human centipede, but with like iPads or something.
Yeah, basically it's literally just human centipede, just like some Japanese guy at the front, and like some chick in the middle, and then Kyle at the end, I think, or vice versa. And they just have like it's pretty much he's trying to make like Steve Jobs is like crazy, and he's trying to make like a human iPad mixed with a human centipede. So, and his whole thing is like he keeps setting up all these scenarios where people will read the terms and conditions, and no one will read them. So basically. When you sign up for the new update or whatever, it says you're willing to subject yourself to being a human centipede. So, like, there's one part where he's, like, trying to get Kyle, like, Kyle is trying to get out, and so he's like, all right, all you have to do is sign here. And then he just signs without reading it, and then Steve Jobs, like, flips out. He's like, I don't understand. Why won't the centipede read? And he's thinking, like, it's almost like if he had created this other organism that's incapable of reading, and they're doing that to, like, make fun of the fact that people just wouldn't take the time to read the stuff.
Right.
Like, he got into this situation because he didn't read, and he's still not reading to get out.
Yeah, just agree to the terms and conditions, and then he was like, okay, I'll agree, and then without reading them, like, why does he keep doing this?
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. But, yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of two minds. Because the one thing is, like, Facebook is known for just being really bad with piracy. Or not piracy, privacy in general. Yeah. So I can see why people are pissed off. Because it's, like, par for the course for them. But at the same time, yes, you did agree to it. And it's like, I don't know.
Okay, when it comes to social media, I think privacy is a privilege.
It really is.
That's what I believe. And then when you really think about what Facebook was originally... It was just a hookup site for college students.
It wasn't really a hookup site.
Maybe not a hookup site, but that's what people were using it for. Come on.
It was pretty much to like keep in contact with like college colleagues and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was more of a professional site, I would say, somewhat.
Nah, I wouldn't say professional.
I would say so.
You had to be a part of either
you had to be
school or a business.
But it was mostly by mostly students that were currently in school were the ones using it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, go on.
And they were using it for parties and hookups. They weren't using they were probably using it for study sessions and stuff too, maybe. But they weren't. It wasn't like a LinkedIn before LinkedIn.
Sir, they were using it all for
like,
official purposes.
That's right.
Alpha Kappa Pi Pi.
Not everyone is a party animal like you.
They were networking so that they could get internships and further their careers and do the best keg stand that they can do.
Whatever.
I hope that you can understand that. I hope that you can understand.
When they came out with privacy terms and stuff, and people were like, oh, my stuff's safe. No one can find me if I don't want them to. Bullshit. Anybody can find you, whatever. You have a digital stamp on the internet. Whether you think so or not, it's there.
What about
anybody can find you unless you're just completely withdrawn from internet altogether.
Yeah.
Unless all you use internet for is for like info digging or research purposes.
And RedTube. Luis says he learned about Facebook through the movie with Jesse Eisenberg.
Whatever. I mean, that's great. I'm happy for you. I'm sad that that's how you had to learn it. With the travesty of a person that is Jesse Eisenberg.
So that movie was actually pretty good. May the Force be with you. You might have liked it. Well, you wouldn't have, but if you didn't hate Jesse Eisenberg, you might actually have a newfound respect for him.
If I watched it, I'd watch it for Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. He was good in it. And so was Justin Timberlake.
Only because there was two of him. I like Justin Timberlake.
No, there was only one of him. He was the best friend. They were like these two other twins. But
I thought he played the twins.
No, he played the best friend that gets screwed over in the end. Just like Spider-Man. But anyway, so I don't know.
Anyways, you need to read that shit. I think at the very least, let me just finish. I think at the very, very least, Facebook should have come out like, hey, we're doing a study.
Yeah.
Would you like to participate in it?
Yeah, because I mean...
you're going to be, like, selected for it, whether you want to or not, or something. Or like, hey, this is what we're going to be doing, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I get it, if they didn't want to say that, because then when people become aware, they're like, hey.
But that's the thing. They're not going to read it. They're just going to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to at least give people that option. Because I do agree, the whole thing with, like, privacy. I mean, yeah, if you're on any social network, you should... I wouldn't even say it's a privilege. Like, you should just assume that nothing you have is private, no matter what you set it to.
Well, because it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, don't assume. Like, just know that everything that's on there, it's not private.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, anytime you put any information on there, it's like... I can understand, like, in the early days of the internet, people didn't know that, but, like, now it's pretty commonplace. Like, anything that's out there is out there. If you don't want it out there, don't put it out there.
Yeah.
So, in that regard, it's like, yeah, you already know that, but at the same time, I think it's just like... To be a responsible business, you should probably tell people when you're doing an experiment that involves them. Like I think that's where I have a problem with it. It's like, yeah, technically, people should already know, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. It's Facebook. Facebook does not give a shit about you. Like, if you haven't figured that out by now, then you haven't been paying attention.
I think
go ahead.
I think if I could broadly define the internet, it would just be simply public forum.
Yeah,
that in itself should explain how much privacy matters.
I feel like if Facebook was a character, it would be Ramsay Snow. Because it's going to do what it wants to do.
It's going to flay me?
For its, Yes, it's going to flay you. It's going to flay your profile pictures.
Oh my god.
I just feel like it gets...
It's just going to be their family flag, whatever.
yeah, the flayed man for their banner. But it's like they're going to do what they want to do with you. They have no regard for what you want. They're popular enough anyway, so people are going to still support them. But at the end of the day, like, they're in it for the money. Whereas Ramsey, I guess, is in it for the power and the being sadistic. So somewhat similar.
I think if I was part of this, I would have been like on the negative part. Because like sometimes in the whole day, like I just see all this negative stuff. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ignore. Or just scroll past it. Oh, cool, Gundam stuff.
Ooh, Gundam, gotta finish.
Yeah.
But Luis says you should watch Social Network just to see how much of a dick Zuckerberg is what have you.
But I already know.
But
he killed Bill Murray. It doesn't get more dickish than that.
Well, not Eisenberg, but the actual Zuckerberg.
Oh, well.
No, I use
Facebook.
He is a serious dick in that movie. And it's one of those things where it's like you should feel like you don't ever want to use Facebook again. But then after you watch the movie, you type on Facebook about how much you like the movie.
Wow, Mark Zuckerberg's a douchebag.
Yeah, good movie, by the way.
Yeah.
So that brings me into my next topic. So obviously, like I said, the Mary Sue was kind of defending Facebook, And I feel like the Mary Sue of old wouldn't. So there's been a change in the Mary Sue. So for those that don't know, the Mary Sue was a very feminist-leading website until they merged with Geekosystem. And even what's
Geekosystem?
I don't know, some geek site that I never went to ever and never cared about.
Is it kind of like Gawker was just like the parent company of a bunch of other popular sites?
I believe so, because I know that they were part of something else before. Like, you could always see at the top, and they had, like, all these other sister sites. Yeah. So I think Geekosystem might have been who owned them, or it might have just been one of those other sites. But either way, it's really watered down, the Mary Sue. Even the look of it looks so plain. Like, it looks like everything that made...
It looks like Facebook when it first started.
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, we'll get into the actual content change, but just the physical change of it looks like someone took everything that made it the Mary Sue and took all that out. And it just wiped all that away. Now it looks like the most generic, like, blog site you've ever seen.
Yeah.
So then on top of that, it's like... So, obviously, I don't necessarily consider myself a feminist, but... A lot of the stuff they had was very thought-provoking. It was very interesting. It was just like...
You get a different perspective.
Yeah, it's stuff you're not going to read anywhere else, and you can tell the writers were passionate. They really loved what they're writing about. And
even if you felt they were wrong, just like, well, I'm glad they have that strong of an opinion.
Yeah, it was a great site, and it pretty much replaced. I used to go to Comics Alliance a lot and Bleeding Cool, and it replaced both the sites. It's like, this was my main news source. This is where I used to go every day. Most of the topics from the show come from the Mary Sue.
Yeah.
So, and then I noticed they changed, and I didn't really notice the huge change right away, but
until this article, if you want to link it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll link it. I have it up right here.
Well, one of the main things, I guess the main thing I did notice, like I noticed the physical change and the fact that they just throw in so many articles that I don't give a crap about, which is kind of like when I brought up Geekosystem, like, I don't know what this site is, I don't go there.
I've never even heard of it.
And it's just like the most generic stuff that every other webpage has. Like the Mary Sue was unique, you know, whether you loved it or hated it, it was very unique, and it had a very important voice that I felt like wasn't really being catered to. So yeah, so the tagline was a guide to geek girl culture, and like now that's gone, and now they're trying to be more inclusive, which being inclusive isn't necessarily a bad thing, but
exactly to what is what the article question is raised.
Yeah, so I mean the whole thing is like now it's just, you know, the typical demographic of the 20 to 40-year-old whoever, but it's like, okay, that's
males, white males.
But then it's like, okay, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like we already have, like I said, Comics Alliance, we already have Bleeding Cool, we already have IGN, we already have every other site essentially that already does that. The Mary Sue was like,
which all appeal to 18 to 45-year-old white males.
Yeah, so it was the one site that actually was different, and I think it's really unfortunate that it the way it's gone, and it's just like it hasn't even been that long, and it's already you already see like such a big change in the material that they have up there. So I don't know if we'll see a change, if they'll go back to it, or maybe another site will splinter off. But I think it's really unfortunate.
And I believe the article also mentioned that they replaced a few of the writers, or they just added more male writers to the Mary Sue.
Yeah, I believe so, because I'm guessing all of the Geekosystem writers came over. So yeah, and I don't know, it's just really lame. It's like I have to scroll like twice as much to find something that I give a crap about, and it's just like, well, I mean, what's the point? There's so many other sites where I can do that. This one was like, okay, so I'll be scrolling and be like, this is interesting, this is thought-provoking, nah, this is interesting, you know, for the most part. And now it's like the opposite, where it's just like,
I'll give it 3 months until one of the big name female writers decides to leave, and there's this like scathing report that comes out, or some kind of rumor thing starts happening, and a year from now we'll be reading about like the fall of the Mary Sue and how it's a shell of its former self a year later.
Yeah, I would
guarantee you, like, that's the story that always happens when you see stuff like this.
No, I completely agree. I mean, yeah, it seems like, I mean, like I said, I mean, you know, I've mentioned even with our excellent site, punchinthewallsreality.com, it's like we're a small fish in a very large and oversaturated pond. Like, you can't throw a stone without finding like a geek, you know, gear-centered website. And now the Mary Sue is just another one.
Yeah.
Before it was like, oh wow, here's something unique and different. Now it's just like, it's the Mary Sue, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll go to, io9.com or whatever garbage.
No Gawker.
So I don't know. It's unfortunate. So that's all I have to say. Maybe we'll see a change.
In the words of Michael Yipes Mendoza. No. Damn it.
Chris Matrix.
No, Chris Matrix. Yeah, I guess that's just his name. In the words of Chris Matrix, you hate to see that type of thing happen.
That you do. Luis says he's heard such amazing things about punchingthewallsreality.com. That's a vi, Luis.
Yeah.
That's a vi. I heard they have this awesome show called The Comic Bubble every Friday, 8 p.m. Central.
I actually tuned in.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was happy.
Well, I'm sure Luis was happy to have you there as well.
It was like 8:15. I was like, oh man, Comic Bubble's on. So I decided to hop on while I was doing homework. So.
Decided to pop in.
It was like the last few Fridays I've been going out to go eat with my parents and stuff, and then coming home and doing homework late at night. So this time I actually got to stay in, and I was like, well, I'm going to do homework now. It was like 7.
Yeah.
And then by the time 8:15 rolled around, I was like, hey, I'll listen to some Comic Bubble.
Nice.
It was nice. It was
very
fun.
nice. Yeah, whenever I have Friday evenings off again, we'll definitely continue tuning in. So, as we
moving on to the next topic,
as we near the end of the broadcast, we can't leave without a little bit of World War Shia.
Oh.
So we ask ourselves, what is Shia LaBeouf into now? So the most recent of the saga, Luis, it returns, and that it does. So apparently, I think maybe he's just having withdrawal because now his franchise Transformers is out in theaters and he's not a part of it. So maybe he's just upset. So he was charged. The 28-year-old actor was charged with 2 counts of disorderly conduct and 1 count of criminal trespass. They said authorities said LaBeouf was being loud and smoking in a non-smoking area during the musical, which stars Michelle Williams, Alan Cunning, and the actor's ex-girlfriend Carey Mulligan. Those great actors that we all know who they are, like they do not deserve that type of treatment. I think it's funny that's his ex-girlfriend. I almost feel like he was just there to just heckle her. Like, oh, you stupid bitch. You can't act your way out of the paper bag that I currently have on my head. So it says he was cuffed during the intermission. I love how they waited because they're still like trying to observe, just like just trying to be polite because it's like a theater or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Mr. Buff, we're gonna have to take you away because you're kind of being an asshole.
Mr. Buff.
But I think it would have been even better if they just would have like busted in right in the middle. He's like, unhand me. I rode in Bumblebee.
Oh, I rode in Bumblebee.
Yeah. He was a car that turned into a robot that turned back into a car. So people were still trying to find out, like, is this more of his performance art, or is this more of his meltdown, or maybe it's one and the same.
Yeah.
But there's pictures. I'll link it in the chat, and it's him, I guess, when he got released from jail, which I'm sure was probably less than 24 hours later. It's just funny how disheveled he looks because it doesn't even look like. I mean. He wasn't arrested for being drunk or like vagrancy or like anything like that would be that hardcore where he'd look that terrible coming out of jail. So I'm gonna link the chat. But he has like this torn blue T-shirt and he looks all sad. He looks as sad as
did it again.
He looks as sad as he did when he had the paper bag that said "I'm not famous" and they took it off of his head during that one interview. Where he just looks like he has those crocodile tears in his eyes. So one of the witnesses says, honestly, I wasn't thinking of drunk or drugs. That even doesn't even make sense. I was thinking he was working...
Shia LaBeouf. It's not supposed to make sense.
Well, it wasn't him. It was an unnamed witness that had mentioned it. It says,
it's about Shia LaBeouf. It's not supposed to make sense.
They said they were thinking he was working on a role because this was that extreme. So... I wish they had more about what he actually did. I mean, they said he was being loud, but, like, what was he doing exactly? Was he, like, swinging from the rafters or... I don't know. But Shia, I hope you get the help that you need. I really do. Well, I think it was really interesting. It's almost like Lindsay Lohan where, like, he'll be doing something really stupid, and then at the same time, it's like, oh, but by the way, I'm going to be in this new comedy, Rock the Kashba? Rock the Kashba? Which we had talked about on a previous episode, and it's just, like A-level star laden, and somehow he got in there.
Yeah.
But it's like actors you actually want to see. So it's like if you were trying to avoid Shia, and then it's like, oh man, but this actor's in there, and this actor, and this sounds really awesome. Louis says he's such a long way away from his Disney days.
Aren't they all, though? I mean, look at Miley Cyrus, all the pictures that they have from her live shows and stuff.
Oh,
like, you ever seen the refugeesofspill.com page where they post pictures? It's like, what the hell is she doing? Like, she's like spread eagle, pretty much grabbing her crotch, and she's got this weird, like, freaking, like, nerd haircut.
Yeah.
Like a chili bowl haircut with, like, a money leotard.
You know...
It's weird.
This is how I feel about Miley Cyrus. I can't even get shocked or offended.
There was one with
a
midget spanking her ass.
To me, it's like I see this and it doesn't faze me at all because it
doesn't faze me, but I mean, when you're talking about like a Disney star, like going off the deep end.
But to me, that's the whole reason why. I think had she started off like moderately, like as more of an adult, something like that. But it's just like they all do this. I mean, obviously hers seems to be like more extreme. But it's like they all want to shake that image of this is
Zac
the wholesome
Efron
person.
Didn't do that.
Right.
He got buff and got a six-pack.
But he's a dude.
And did comedy.
It's different with the guys. The chicks like always.
Well, what about Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah,
they're like on the same extreme spectrum. They're like hand in hand.
But I think that has more to do with Indiana Jones and Transformers.
No,
but how old
it has
was
to do
Zac?
with success.
How old was Zac Efron when he became famous? Like, what was he in before?
High School Musical?
Yeah, how old was he though?
Like 15?
Yeah, and how old was Shia LaBeouf when he was in Even Stevens?
Oh, he was like 13 years old.
He was younger than that.
Nah, he was like right around puberty age.
He was annoying as shit. He
was
been
hilarious,
like,
dude. He was so hilarious.
Carrie says we miss holes, Shia. And Luis says Selena
holes.
Selena Gomez hasn't gone the crazy route, at least not yet. I don't know.
Well, supposedly she's dating Justin Bieber, which to me is
Who?
just ill-advised.
The Bieber!
It's not crazy. It was like, why are you a Hispanic woman dating some racist
Who,
kid?
Selena? I thought they broke
Selena
up.
Gomez? I don't know. No, she was dating Zac Efron. Supposedly now she's dating Justin Bieber.
I
What are we talking about? What is wrong with us?
I don't even know who Zac Efron is.
Zac Efron?
A really handsome,
yeah.
ridiculously handsome guy.
He's in that new movie with Seth Rogen where like they move into a frat house.
There you go, like Neighbors.
Or they move next door to a frat house and Zac Efron's like the leader.
Look him up. He's like a really tall blonde guy.
Yeah, he's done like love story movies that kind of pretty much go in hand. And like this is like his one role that he's finally like breaking away from like that Disney look.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay,
he was in a movie in a love story with freaking Naomi Watts. It's like she's like 38.
Well,
and he's like 24.
This is why I don't know who he is because none of those movies.
Like, I love you, Naomi Watts.
Sound
Like,
anything
I
good.
love you too.
I'll look him up.
Zac Efron.
One moment. He's not 24. He's like
Whatever.
closer to my
He's
age.
made of saffron.
From the Saffron Islands.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Miley Cyrus. My whole thing is just like it just seems
Neighbors,
for me, it feels typical, and two, it feels so over the top. It's almost like, to go back to the previous topic of Kick-Ass 2, when Jim Carrey was like, oh God, the violence is so extreme, and oh, it's so horrible, especially after Sandy Hook. It's like, the violence is so over the top that it's not, I don't even, Hibiki's showing me his picture, and it does not even ring not even a single bell.
Really?
He
looks
like the guy that gave me my.
He was
my
dating
PTRs
Vanessa
earlier.
Hudgens.
I don't know.
I think he took.
Then
her,
he must die.
I think he took her virginity, if I'm not mistaken.
How dare
How do you know
How
that?
dare he take?
I'm guessing.
How dare he take Lady Hutchinson's?
Lady Hutchinson.
Take her maidenhead.
Who's Vanessa
I challenge him.
Hutchinson's?
This girl that he's
Hudgens.
infatuated with.
I challenge him to.
I think she's Hispanic, unless she's just a really dark
she
white
looks
girl.
like she's Hispanic. I challenge him to single combat.
Maybe Hudgens is
in front of
an
the
adopted
trident,
name
and I'm gonna knock those rubies from his chest.
by the drowned god.
Hudgens.
Yeah, it's Hudgens.
It's like Hudgens.
Oh, that girl. I think she's like, I will tell you right now.
Okay.
She looks more Middle Eastern, if anything.
So Lee says, you can tell Proof Music hasn't been around 10-year-old girls with Zac Efron on their backpacks with High School Musical. Yes, I unfortunately...
What are you trying to imply that I have? I'll have you know, sir, I have not.
Legally, I cannot be around them. But now, okay, so anyway, so Miley Cyrus, it just literally her whole, like, going crazy and, I want to be so over the top, it literally feels like 40-year-old men were in a room and they sat her down and said, this is how you can be more extreme. And they're so old and out of touch that they don't even know like how to do it without it coming off as looking like a joke. Like it feels so over the top to me that it's just like really like that's what you're gonna do. Like that's what you want to do. Like because like especially the whole twerking thing. I was like, oh my God, Miley Cyrus is shaking her rear end. She's twerking. It's like twerking. Literally like decades.
It died a long time ago.
Yeah,
and
it's
all
like,
of a sudden just came back with white people.
Well, that's because what's dead has never died. But it's like, it's born and died. It's really
like when the
completed.
Harlem Shake came back. It was like this is not the Harlem Shake.
Yeah.
It completed an entire life cycle,
Yeah.
and now they're trying to bring it back. And it is literally just like the Elvis effect. It's just like when black people were doing it, that was fine. When the white person does it, it's like
it was good as long as they
Lord.
kept it on BET.
Yeah, they're right.
Keep your juvenile videos on BET. We
like-
don't want Cash Money Millionaires.
It's like, sir, you keep that to your bet, all right? You get that off of your TV, and
Your
we're gonna
bet.
have a problem. So I don't know. I guess it just feels like that to me, where it's just like really, and then it's just like so many people have done this already. Like prior to her, Britney Spears had her moment. Christina Aguilera had her moment.
Yeah, but she went like Alabama crazy.
Yeah.
Like, she did drugs and got married in Vegas, like the typical crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then she shaved her head and went mental.
Okay, then more so Christina Aguilera when she did like that dirty video, and people were like flipping out over it.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's not on the same
That
level.
wasn't- yeah,
but I'm
not
saying,
even
but I'm
close.
saying like, and then before that, obviously the classic one was Madonna, and she was like the, the icon for that. And it just to me, it just seems like...
But she didn't even take it to this extreme.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like they did it with more class, and I just feel like now Miley Cyrus is like at this point where it's just like, well, I don't have the creativity to do it like they did, so I'm just going to rub my crotch.
I'm just going to put this money unitard on, take this short person with me, and have her spank my ass in front of 10,000 people.
I guess for me, I just feel like it's more sad because, like...
Billy Ray?
Billy Ray? No. Just because...
I don't give a fuck about the dad.
I just feel like it's just like a lack of creativity. Like, if you want to be, like, raunchy and sexual, which I have no problem with, put a little bit of effort into it. That's all I ask. Put a little bit of Efron. Put some Chevron. Efron with Chevron. With Techrod.
Efron with Techron.
Luis says, I'll violate a giant teddy bear is what Miley Cyrus says.
I want to put that as my quote, like on my grave. I'll violate a giant teddy bear, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. Luis says, it's like when people proclaim Elvis stole music / movies, whatever from black people. He did steal it, and we want it back, damn it.
Not movies, moves.
I want it. Oh, I thought it said movies.
Techniques.
I was wondering why, because I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. He
stole the Kaioken from black people. Show me your moves.
I want it from his cold dead hands. They're probably bones by now, but I still want them back. But yeah, it was the whole thing where it's just like when he did it, it was like this huge, like mind-blowing thing. It's like he's shaking his hips, and it's Louis' dead. Yeah, sorry, spoiler alert, he's dead. He's dead to me at least. But yeah, I don't know.
He died charging the spirit bomb.
It's a more extreme, less creative version of the same shit, and I guess that's the reason why to me it's just like I don't care. I don't care at all. It's going to blow over sooner or later. Her career is going to die with it because it's almost the whole thing where it's like you can only go to like a certain extreme before there's nowhere else you can go.
Yeah.
And if you cross that next line, then it's like career suicide.
Yeah, because that next line is porn.
Yeah, pretty much. Which there's a Miley, Miley, what's her name now? Miley May, who is
Miley May.
She's like Miley Cyrus like porn impersonator. So Miley May, check her out, fellas. That's the future of Miley Cyrus. I'm predicting it now. I was reading an interview with her, and she was like, so what made you decide to dress up like Miley Cyrus? She's like, well,
because I look like her.
Well, she didn't realize it at first. I guess one of her fans diligently was like, hey, you look like Miley Cyrus. She's like, you know what? I can make a career off of this.
And that was her introduction into porn?
No, she was already in porn. She had a different name.
Just not successful.
It was like Crystal Cross or something, and then she was just like... And then, yeah, but it like skyrocketed her when she decided to change her name to Miley May and do Miley Cyrus-related videos. Oh, no. She actually had done one Miley Cyrus one, and then people were like, oh, this was really good, and now like that's all she does.
And changed her name and everything.
Yeah. And I guess she cut her hair as well.
With like the weird chili bowl 8-year-old haircut.
You know that's really popular now.
Why?
It's like the one side shaved and it kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've seen that, but like hers literally looks like. You ever seen that meme with that crazy looking 8-year-old white kid where it's just like they said something, so I put him in the grave, or like one of those ones where it's like the photo op picture where it's just like a regular face smiling, and the other one's like a silhouette of the face looking to the side. But it's like this really crazy kid with a blonde kid, like a white blonde kid with the chili bowl haircut.
Okay.
And that's what her hair looks like.
Luis,
if she just smiled that same way, she'd just look like that crazy kid.
Okay.
My babysitter said I couldn't have ice cream after 9 o'clock or something like that. Said I had to go to bed, so I put her to sleep forever.
Oh, okay. I remember hearing a meme like that, but yeah, I can't picture it in my head, but I'll have to take a look. Okay, well, I guess her hair is devolved into the chili bowl hair, but when she first had her new look, she had like that...
Yeah, when she had the new look, that one was nice. That one looked good. Like, it suited her really well. But like, from one of these pictures they were posting on the refugees, like, why does her hair look like that? It looks so weird.
If you're going to hump a teddy bear, you might as well have terrible hair while you do it. No need to shame all those other people that have suitable hairstyles.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying. I think she should hook up with Shia LaBeouf, and then we'll just have absolute insanity.
Because they're like, they're the former Disney stars, both batshit crazy. And I think their careers are slowly dwindling down.
I don't know. It depends. I'll see with the
I think definitely Shia LaBeouf's career is dwindling. I'm not so sure about Miley.
I think Miley Cyrus is going to peak and then fizzle out very quickly.
Yeah.
I think
very much like Britney Spears did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid. That's what her hair looks
like. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, the Gohan Chili Bowl look.
Yeah, perfect.
I think
perfect.
The thing with Shia LaBeouf is so weird because it's like he's committing career suicide pretty much on purpose. Like, he could easily, I mean, unless he is really having a meltdown, he can't handle the pressure. Like, it's not an act and there's no thought behind it, which seems to be I think that's what is really the case.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what he's doing isn't that crazy that I think he's, like, harming that many people. Like, it's not like... Speaking of like teen sensations, okay, wow, she looks like the Tropic Thunder. What's his name? Ben Stiller's character. When he goes full retard, that's what she reminds me of.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I think Shia could easily bounce back. I mean, granted, I don't think he's that great of an actor, but I mean, it's not like he's not like. I remember reading this article about like Justin Bieber like throwing like pee on his fans and stuff like that. He's not doing something like that. He's doing weird and bizarre things, but other than like this recent arrest, he hasn't done anything like illegal. You know, he's just acting weird. But I mean, it's freaking Shia LaBeouf. I mean, he looks weird. He might as well act weird. So I don't know. I think with Miley Cyrus though, it's like since hers is more specific to her career, I think that she's gonna be. I don't know. I think she's probably gonna be popular for the next maybe year or so, and then people are gonna get really bored with her, and that will be the end. The end for her. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So I never thought we would end the podcast talking about Zac Efron, Miley Cyrus, and other unmentionables. But yeah, Vanessa Hudgens, check her out. She is in she's in the movie Spring Breakers, which is supposedly actually pretty good. I haven't seen it yet. It's with James Franco, and everybody loves Franco. Luis, quick, make up one more topic. Okay. So, on a previous episode about them sour apples, we had talked about Street Fighter and the impending Street Fighter V, and it was reported that they were going to try and dumb it down, basically, for people that aren't really fighting game players to make it more accessible. However, Capcom came out and said not only is Street Fighter V not even officially confirmed, like, that's not the case at all. I guess it was either misreported or mistranslation or something like that. So I remember reading that on
from months ago when they were talking about there's going to be we're thinking about releasing Street Fighter V around 2016.
Well, not that one, but I mean, I guess it's still like they haven't decided. I don't know. It seemed really okay. That's what they said, but this is what they
we're broke
mean.
And we don't want to seem like we're committal.
No,
but also not non-committal.
I don't even think it's that. I think there was so much backlash. They're like, no, we didn't say that. No, your Street Fighter is going to be pure 5 people that buy our games. Like, we're not going to destroy your fan base. I would like to think that they responded to the outrage and saw that they're not going to have a market, and so they just decided to pretend like they never said it at all.
Huh.
And that's my interpretation of it, because it seemed like they like completely backpedaled off the statement. Like, they weren't even like, yeah, this is kind of what we're going for, but don't worry, you're still going to have a solid game. They were just like, no, we didn't say that. That was a drunk intern. He got on the Twitter. We don't know what he was doing. That's like U.S. Airlines tweeting that picture with the woman with the airplane, and then them just being like, yeah,
her vagina.
yeah. So a Capcom employee was doing something very similar. So I don't know. So it kind of gave me a little bit more hope. I mean, obviously it's still Capcom, so you can only have so much hope.
Right.
But I don't know. The future of Street Fighter may not be in such peril. I mean, granted, Capcom as a company is in peril. So.
You know, and I'm hoping that them going broke is for the best.
Yeah.
Because then they can't really, like, put all that much work. I mean, not that much work, but, like, graphics into the game. And they'll have to go back to 2D sprites.
Well, this is the thing, because, like...
Beautiful udon-made sprites.
Oh, that would be awesome. I love udon noodles. But the video I had sent you before, it had Maximilian, who's, you know, a big guy in the fighting game community, for those that don't know. And he kind of broke down the potential sale of Capcom. The way he was talking about it would be ideal, where it's like they just kind of sell off like different IPs that they have.
Oh, kind of like they did with that company,
THQ?
THQ.
Yeah, because with that, because he's talking about, like, there's so many IPs they have that they just sit on. Like, Darkstalkers, we haven't seen another Darkstalkers.
Onimusha?
Yeah, Onimusha. It's like they focus on, like, a few flagship titles, and, like, that's about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you put those in the hands of developers, like, obviously if they're bidding to pay for it, they want these titles, and these titles are going to come out. They're not going to pay, like, X millions of dollars to just sit on it. So I think that'd be better because, like, Capcom obviously doesn't care about making more of these games.
Imagine if Resident Evil was given to, like, BioWare or something like that.
And that's the thing, too, for even the titles that they have been putting out, to have that in, like, just a new creative team and a new creative development for games that they've been spamming out every year. It's like, this would be great.
Right.
And then my ultimate dream of Street Fighter going to Namco. Or even well, maybe not.
I think Street Fighter would definitely go to EA.
You think so?
I would think so, because that's the one market that EA doesn't have.
Yeah,
is the fighting
true.
game market.
I would hate for Street Fighter to go to EA. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even hating on EA, but I just don't think they could do it justice.
I don't think EA... Well, it's not even EA, because EA's... You just got to remember that EA is just a publisher.
Yeah, they're just an umbrella. But even so, I don't know. I just feel like we're going to get, like... I mean, we'd get more Street Fighter.
Because they could create a brand new studio
Yeah.
of former Capcom employees and just
Yeah.
name it something else.
I don't know.
Like Fighting Spirit or something.
Let's
like
fighting love. Go, go, go. Let's kick ass. Ooh. I don't know. I still think Namco would be the best because it's like Namco, I just feel like they have so much passion. Like, I'm not even that big of a Tekken fan, but I feel like they have so much more passion and desire to, like, please their fans than Capcom ever has.
Right. Harada-san.
Yeah. So I feel like with somebody like them behind Street Fighter, like, it can not only, like, reclaim its former glory, but I think it can be, like, the best Street Fighter they've ever made. And I just don't really feel like EA would have that same dedication. I feel like they could still make a solid Street Fighter game. It definitely wouldn't be the eyesore that Street Fighter 4 is.
Yeah.
And obviously, yeah, they could still have a similar creative team or even bring those guys over because obviously they're not going to be working for Capcom.
Right.
So, yeah, they can still make a solid game, but I just feel like the passion, Namco or SNK would be the few companies I think that would have that passion behind Street Fighter. Or even, I don't know who makes Guilty Gear, but I know they were all, like, big Street Fighter fans as well.
Yeah.
Like, that was their whole inspiration. They just wanted a more fast-paced Street Fighter with, like, metal music.
Metal music.
that was literally like, you know, if you just, like, summed it up, like, that's more or less Guilty Gear in a nutshell.
Right.
That in instant kills.
Arc System Works.
Oh, okay.
I believe. That's what the name is.
We all know who those guys are. You know what? Now I'm thinking them because it would be 2D. And it would be HD.
And it would look beautiful.
Yes, the way Street Fighter always has been meant to look. So Capcom, please go under.
And there'd be weird system mechanics that I would hate and not fully understand.
Well, hopefully that wouldn't come.
I'd actually be like really happy if like Atlas picked up Street Fighter.
Okay, they're the ones that do Persona.
Persona 4 Arena.
That'd be interesting.
And that game's like super fun.
Yeah.
When I actually play it. That game's like so much fun. I just like, I don't know a whole lot, but I understand mechanics enough to like, I mean, not to be like good in a tournament.
Yeah.
But enough to like enjoy like playing single player.
Yeah.
You know, just running through the game. But yeah, man, that game's just like super fun. Like that game gets it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It gets
definitely.
it. Like I don't even know how to explain it fully, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, I've seen this game played professionally. And it's great to watch. It's super fun. There's a lot going on that's just like very pleasing to the eyes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you could be like a complete beginner and like not know a whole lot about the mechanics and still have a lot of fun. Just because all the characters are attractive to look at or just nice to look at. The backgrounds are fun. The animation is like incredible, smooth.
Yeah.
Very colorful, vibrant colors throughout the game. And just like, I don't know, the overall atmosphere, like when you're playing, everyone's just so like animated in character, not just like physically animated, but just like everyone's got like a lot of character within each person. And then the voice actors are really good, or at least the Japanese versions.
Yeah, a lot of care went into that game. It's just like in contrast to Capcom where they reuse sprites and nothing fits. Everything is just kind of just like crammed together to make a really cheap game.
Yeah.
But
and the other thing is like, I don't know, at least I feel like when I played, I mean, I haven't given it enough time to really say, but I mean the game was really well balanced. Persona 4, I'm saying, had really good balance for a fighting game, which is not easy to come by. I mean, like KOF is really well balanced.
Yeah.
And I guess Street Fighter is
the most honest game out there.
From what I've been told, yeah, according to Fubar Duck. But yeah, I mean, I never really played Street Fighter, so I'd have to take someone's word on it if they said it was balanced.
Oh, Street Fighter 4?
Yeah. But when you look at games like Marvel, as fun and exciting to watch, and so much hype behind that game. As incredible as that game is to watch and get excited for, like it's just like effortless to get excited for that game. Yeah, that game is horribly broken. You know,
mine's broken.
Like that game needs so much work. It's just like I don't even want to crack a smile. It's just
I do.
It upsets me.
Yeah,
like how broken that game is. I mean, it's still fun to play, and you know, I got my team, and it's great fun whenever we all get together and play. But yeah, the game needs to be fixed in a big way.
And sadly, it probably never will.
It won't. It never. Yeah, not probably. It just never.
Yeah,
ever.
Maybe another 10 years we'll get Marvel 4.
Yeah,
but we'll see. But Louis says he's looking forward to Tekken Cross Street Fighter if that ever comes out. I
doubt it.
I feel like they quietly canceled that game.
Harada-san even said back in... He had tweeted, I believe, like back in, I don't know, January, February. I remember just reading it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I believe it was Twitter. And he had said something to the effect like him saying just like, I don't really even want to make this game. Something like that. And I was just kind of like, well, any hope I had for this game being made is like that much less likely.
I'm not surprised because Street Fighter Cross Tekken was so bad and it bombed so hard, and they poured so much money into it.
It wasn't a bad game. It just missed that like excite element.
No, it was pretty bad.
I don't know. When
I couldn't even get you guys to play it. That's how bad it was.
Well, that's my point though. Like, because like the game was well balanced. There was characters that I liked. And to a point, the gameplay was fun, but it was missing that, like, flair. And I don't know. Yeah, well, I mean, even before the game was actually fixed, Carrie, like, the game I thought was pretty well balanced, even if it wasn't. It was still fun to play. It just, to me, it didn't have that flair that would just keep me playing it.
Yeah.
Like, when I play Tekken, I can only play Tekken for so long. Because after a while, one, I'm not very good, and Nat starts winning constantly. But even, like, when we used to play Third Strike forever. Yeah. We would play Third Strike for hours. And even when I wasn't that good at that game and knew that Nat was going to beat me over and over and over, like Nat was our Justin Wong, just put it that way. And he was like that Ken player. Yeah. Before we knew about, you know, tier systems and all that shit, you know. We just thought he was that damn good before we realized Ken was like a broken character like 10 years later.
Well, I mean, he was that good also. Cause he could do it with Alex as well.
Alex, Q.
Anyone.
Just anybody. He could use fucking anybody. They're like, yeah, go ahead, use Gil, see what happens. Yeah. And then I'd use Gil and I'd lose. I'm like, what?
Because he could win with like 0, having never even picked him up before.
Necro.
Yeah.
But Necro's lowly counterpart that you can't even play as, he'd beat you with that.
Yeah, he beats you with the background characters.
Yeah, but I mean, that game was just so addicting to play. Like, that's my point. Like, as frustrating as that game was to play, I would still love playing it. Soul Calibur 2 was like, Soul Calibur and Soul Calibur 2 was the same way. Like, no matter what, like, those games just were always very appealing. But, like, whenever I played Tekken, it was just like, I felt like it was missing something to keep me, you know, from, like, playing it constantly. And that's what Street Fighter Cross Tekken also had. I was like, there's that thing missing, that spice, that crucial flavor that is just not hitting.
It had like no personality, and it was an ugly game.
Yeah,
it was like it had no excuse to be that ugly. Like, I mean, first of all, it was supposed to run off of like a bastardization of like the Street Fighter 4 engine, and even the Street Fighter 4, as much as I hate the graphics in that, it looks bad in comparison. So, and then all the Tekken characters looked awful. I don't know. It just I don't know why they didn't use the Marvel engine. That would have been infinitely better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty awful. Kerry says he loves Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but nobody played it, so I dropped it.
Oh, you're talking about MT Framework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that was the case with a lot of people. Like, I think there was maybe like a small group of people that actually did like Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but it, you know, very few and far in between. Also, Luis has challenged me in Tekken 6. So,
well, I think, yeah.
So I'm going to try and get my AverMedia, and we'll see the battle take place.
I think the other thing was, like, it just felt like marketing-wise, like, at least in the FGC, like, a lot of people were just trying really hard to make the game relevant.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I mean,
that
was
even at last year's Evo, like, it just felt like people was just like, yeah, why is it an Evo? Or when they made it teams, the team's mandatory, and then they couldn't make up their minds like leading up to the event. And I don't know, it just felt like they were trying to make the game so fucking relevant to justify its spot on the top 8.
I think with that had to do because I think that came after they realized the sales weren't going well and it wasn't very well received.
Yeah,
and they were just
and then
pumping...
also the reality show that they did.
Oh God,
I think also ruined it.
I don't know. The reality show was funny to me, but
well, it's funny to us because it was a beautiful train wreck.
Only because of Dr. Sub-Zero.
Yeah, man, whatever happened to that dude?
Yeah,
remember when we got him to agree to come on the podcast?
Yeah, and then he just disappeared.
Like 2 or 3 months later, he like defected off of social media. I was like, dude, I would have loved to have that guy on here.
But yeah,
that was so cool, man. Like when he actually reacted to us, and then all of a sudden, like 3 months later, I'm trying to find one of his because I was trying to find one of his Twitter messages, one of his tweets for a reference for an article we were talking about, and like I couldn't find his account.
Yeah,
like it was just gone. And then people were asking, and I saw the stuff that I had missed out on the months before, and I was just like, oh shit! I guess he just like dropped social media altogether. He found some girl, and like that's all.
Yeah,
he
got
about.
married and disappeared. Because I remember emailing the person that did Cross Assault, or not Cross Assault. That was the name of the show. Carrie Figueroa pointed that out. Yeah. But the guy who did Stream.TV and did the Cross Counter TV.
Gutex.
Yeah, Gutex. I emailed one of them, and they're like, yeah, he's happily married, and he's kind of done with the FGC, and I guess the internet altogether.
Yeah, because I think his last appearance was during the Cross Tekken tournament, like the one they were doing for the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
The one that we went to. Mm-hmm. And then he was there at the finals.
Yeah.
I think it was in San Francisco. And I think he got like 6th place or something like that. He got top 8. And that was that. That was it. That was the end of it. That was the end of Dr. Sub-Zero.
Oh, Carrie says, who is this, by the way? He was one of the contestants on Cross Assault.
Yeah, he was the guy that had the little Home Depot mask, like that typical paint mask that you would use.
He was the one that like slept in the arcades. Here says, Dr. Sub-Zero, that's the one. Also, Louis says, Prometheus, you can pretend I slapped you with a glove to properly challenge you. So I accept your challenge, sir, and let's fight like gentlemen.
I'm still sad because like that was like probably of all the interviews we've done of people, like that was the one at that time that I was like looking the most for. So I was like, dude, the next time he comes to Austin, he wants to be on our show. Like, and he was like, if I can find the tweet, he was all like, "Fuck yeah, dude, I'll be on y'all show." Blah blah blah. I was like, dude, yes, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we were like super excited. He would have just fit. He would have meshed so well.
Yeah. But I like that was one of my goals too at the time was just like if I ever get a chance to meet him, that'd be fucking great, it'd just be cool. And I did get a chance to meet him when he came down for Screen Burn, but I he was talking to all the other dudes and catching up on them. I didn't really want to.
Alex the pizza guy
Valle. Hibiki, you want to tell that story?
What? Oh.
He's over here eating Sour Patch Children.
You're cannibal. She's a Thane.
Okay, so yeah, I have no idea what any of these people look like.
Yeah.
I just hear their names, and I know that they are in the fighting community, and yeah, I have no idea what they look like.
Right.
So the guys, we were at Arcade. What is it? UFO.
Arcade UFO, yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, cool! All the guys are outside. Let's take a picture, right?"
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool, I'll take the picture. You guys go stand over there.
It was a picture of, what's his name? The dude that plays, like, low-tier characters only.
Oh,
he was on Cross
Rennick?
Rennick. It was Rennick and Nerd Josh.
Oh, yeah.
And in the middle was Alex Valle.
Yes, who I felt really bad after they told me because I was very pissed off that he was ruining my picture.
Yeah.
Because,
okay. This pizza guy.
Yeah, he was... Okay, let me explain what he was wearing. He was wearing a windbreaker jacket, a hat, and holding a pizza. Who do you... like? And he was a lot older than the other guys, too.
Yeah, yeah.
So, assuming that this was just a pizza delivery guy, I was like, I'm not going to take the picture until this guy gets the fuck out of my way.
Yeah. So she's just, like, standing there.
And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm waiting for the pizza man to get out of my way. He's like, that's not the pizza man. That's Alex Valle. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Only
I was like, just take the fucking picture. You're embarrassing me.
And give me a slice. That's good pizza.
That's his fault for holding the damn pizza box.
Yeah, this is funny.
He's like,
well, it's because like his jacket just looks like a blue version a Fry's jacket from Futurama, and Fry was a freaking pizza guy, pizza delivery. So it's like you see that jacket and just like so trademark looking, like yeah. And then when I was looking at him, I was like, well, yeah, okay, he does kind of look like a police.
It really was like the perfect storm.
But he wasn't just holding one pizza. I think he was like holding like 3 or 4 pizzas because he was ordering for like all the dudes that were there, or all like the FGC kids. And he was like talking
to the group, so I thought that he was like collecting the money for the bill for the pizza. So I was like, all right, I'll let him finish his business, and I'll take the picture.
Like the opening scene of Home Alone where the guy's like, yeah, who's the guy paying for all these pizzas? And everyone's just like, oh yeah, it's the guy that owns the house.
Yeah,
you'll find him.
Yeah.
So that's what it kind of looked like he was walking around doing. But no, he actually is a really nice guy. He was really cool to talk to.
My apologies. You know, I just didn't know what he looked like, and now I know.
He looks like a pizza guy.
Of all the ones that we actually didn't get a chance to talk to Nerd Josh or Rennick or Valle. I think we also met who I thought was spooky until that fucking day.
Oh, yeah, but it was Arturo.
It was Arturo. And I got to meet him and take a picture, and he was real cool. And also, he's a Tekken player. I want to say he's Hindi. Fuck, what is his name?
Very nice character.
Yeah. I forgot his name, but I thought he blew me off. I was like, that guy's a fucking jerk. No, it wasn't Core. He was, Wasn't
it the Guile player?
No. That's
like
no, we did meet Dominion there, but no, this dude, he's a Tekken player.
Oh, okay.
He lives in California.
Eddie Gordo?
No, he's a really skinny, dark kid. I want to say he's Indian, but I'm not sure. Rip, R.I.P.
Oh,
I don't know if it's Rip or R.I.P., but that's his name.
Okay, I remember now.
I thought he was a jerk because like he was talking to somebody like, "Hey, can we take a picture of you?" And he just like put a finger in my face, like 1 second, just 1 second. I was like, man, fuck this guy. Nobody talks to me like that. So I walked off, and then I think I started that whole session playing against Rennick, and that dude was being an asshole, and people were all talking shit and like, oh, he's just being a scrub. I was like, so what? I'm paying to be a scrub to play against Rennick, dude. If I want to fucking waste quarters playing against Rennick, that's my right as an American to do so.
By what right does a wolf have to judge a lion?
There you go.
By what right?
But then he came back later. Hey, man, I'll take that picture if you want. And then afterwards, we had a couple of words for like 2 or 3 minutes. And like, he's actually like a really cool dude. He was like really nice. And he was like, he didn't really apologize. I don't think he realized how he came off. I was like, hey, sorry, dude. I was just trying to finish talking to this other person. But hey, man, if you want to take that picture, I'd love to take a picture with you. I was like, okay, cool. That sounds great. I took a picture with him, and he was like, blah, blah, blah. And he was talking about himself a little bit. And it was really hard to hear at that point in the night. But, Rip was he was a really cool dude. But the one I actually did get to speak with for, I think, longer than 10 minutes was Dominion.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a really quiet dude. I even felt bad after a while because, I'm kind of...
Well, you gave him like a backhanded compliment because you're like, I used to really hate your playstyle. It's pretty much like how you opened.
Yeah, and he was just like, he had this weird smirk, like a weird smile. Like, that's probably not the first time he heard it.
Yeah.
It seemed more amusing to him. It's like, but after a while, man, like I kind of got used to it. And I think I saw you playing at Apex, and I was just like, okay, so this is where it shows its worth and stuff.
Yeah.
And, your playstyle is really unique. It's really interesting to see how people, like, try to adapt to your play style, in the middle of a live game. He's like, oh, well, thank you very much, blah, blah, blah. He was like really respectful dude. My only gripe, he has a very soft handshake. Like uncomfortably
You're
soft.
Like, oh.
Yeah, like that episode of King of the Hill where Hank Hill shakes George Bush's hand.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a soft handshake. Like, that's the only thing I kept thinking of. Hank Hill shaking George Bush's hand.
Every time now I think Hank Hill, I think, turned down for what?
That song from last week.
That's all I can think about. Like, that's forever will be my image of Hank Hill.
But yeah, Dominions, they were all really cool people. And then, of course, I got to talk to Dr. Sub-Zero for just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
It was just funny because, like, because I was asking Arturo if we could take a picture with him. And then Dr. Sub-Zero was like, "What about me? You don't want to take a picture with me?" I was like, "Of course, I would love to take a picture with you." You just seemed preoccupied because he was on the mic.
Oh, that's right.
He was commentating the matches at that point, and I was right there where they were commentating. And then he was just like, "Oh, whatever, I'm inviting myself." I was like, "No, dude, no." You know, he's like real self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I liked about him the most, because it was kind of like that's the way I am too.
Yeah. Karen wants to know if Triforce was around.
No, he wasn't there. I would have talked shit to that.
Is it always Power Glove was there?
Yeah, it was floating around somewhere.
It was just like smoke coming out
with a link hat on the pinky finger.
Oh, Triforce! No, he was in Barbados Slim, getting his tournament going.
I love that quote. Only suckers work 9 to 5. It's true.
I'll be right back. I got to go to my 9 to 5. But
he's working at, what was it, like
Taco Bell or something?
No, it was like Staples or some shit. Office Max.
Not even Office Depot. I think they merged, actually. Luisa Subiki sounds like Ellen Page.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I sound like Ellen Page?
Yeah.
You know, Krista always referred to me as Juno.
I do know this,
which
Krista.
I look nothing like Ellen Page, but she thinks that Juno's character is so much like me. It's like, I don't see it.
I still haven't seen Juno.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
So how is Krista?
I don't know. She disappeared off of Facebook again.
She
did. Did she?
Yeah.
My heart broken in twine again.
I do want that hamburger phone, though. That is pretty fucking cool.
Hamburger phone?
Yeah, from Juno.
Yeah, she has a hamburger phone.
It's like a little cheeseburger.
Oh, too bad they don't make phones anymore.
I will get a fucking landline
you can
just to have a cheeseburger phone.
It's like not even connected. You just have it.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, I'd like to order a cheeseburger. Draco, give me a cheeseburger. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Well,
so
I just found it. Or what do you got to say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say for those of you in the chat, if you can locate said hamburger phone, let us know on Facebook. And send a link if you have it on eBay or if you have your own Etsy store that makes hamburger phones. Please let us know.
That's
right. Carrie's house phones are dead. Wow, that's a real thing.
That's
awesome.
I want one with bacon. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I just found this article. I was scanning through Facebook, and I guess Community's being renewed for a 6th season.
Oh yeah, I actually had that as a topic.
But through Yahoo.
Yeah.
And I guess Dan Harmon's coming back, and it's just going to be like 13 episodes.
Yeah, because I
just
remember
thought that was worth mentioning.
Yeah, they had talked about it before, and there was talk that it was going to come back as a Hulu, or not a Hulu, a Netflix show.
Uh-huh.
But I guess Yahoo jumped on the bandwagon. It's really interesting, especially because it just seems like the Netflix model worked. You know, like Amazon tried it with trying to bring back Zombieland, and it was garbage. But then House of Cards and I swear, almost everyone that I talk to that's not me loves Orange Is the New Black. So it's like they've been having like these hits, and people seem to really love it. So I feel like all these other platforms are trying to jump on the bandwagon, which I think is kind of a good thing because I think the studios have so much more creative control in these outlets versus like network television.
Right.
So I think this will probably be good for Community. I mean, it might revitalize, I guess, what people have been feeling it's been lacking. So I still honestly have only seen the paintball episodes. So I don't have as much of an investment, especially now that Donald Glover's gone, because he was kind of my favorite part. Just mainly because knowing him back from when he was doing Derek comedy, I was just like, oh, this guy made it to the big leagues. Now he's like, I want to be a wapper.
Wait, he's a rapper now?
Yeah, now he's Childish Gambino.
Yeah, he's not bad from what I've heard.
From what I've heard of his songs with my own ears, I wanted to like him. Just to like, oh yeah, this would be cool, like it seems like he actually has stuff that he wants to rap about. I can't get into his style like at all. I gave it a shot, and then I was like, okay, maybe I just didn't remember it well, and then I tried it again. I'm just like, it just doesn't do it for me at all.
Does it sound like anyone that we would know?
I can't really think of a comparison, really. I don't know. It's just. Maybe I'll give it one more shot, but it just doesn't do it for me. His flow just seems really weird, and he doesn't really seem that different from anyone else, but just seems like his rapping is just not as good as somebody as opposed to like when Fuzzy Slippers was like having us listen to like Kendrick Lamar. Like there's something like unique about his style.
Yeah,
I didn't really feel like that was the case with Childish Gambino. So that is it. So so in the chat. Carrie says, why can't anyone say Firefly? It only came out a few years ago rather than a decade ago. Yeah, if only it came out a few years ago. Yeah, that would be nice, if only, but Castle will have it live on. Doom from the comic board doesn't like Orange Is the New Black.
I want to also feel that way, but I don't really want to watch the show.
Uh-huh.
But then there's a part of me, like the other half, that does want to watch it just so I can confirm the hate.
Yeah, well,
But then the other half is just like, well, if I do hate it, why am I wasting my time?
It's not very good.
There's another show you like to watch that fills that bill. Go
What?
ahead. Well, we'll speak of that later.
Oh.
By the way, Hibiki.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I saw the first episode. I don't think I even finished it because it was just that uninteresting to me. And I'm not a big fan of Donna. I don't know her real name.
Oh, Laura Prepon.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why I watched that show at all. Like, she's my... I mean, because it's like the main chick, I guess her name's Piper in the show. She's annoying as hell. Jason Biggs has proven to me why he's not had a career.
Hang on a second. Jason Biggs is American Pie.
He's the pie fucker.
Ugh,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, because I remember when that movie came out, it was so popular, et cetera, and it's like, why doesn't this guy have a career? Then you watch Orange is the New Black, it's like, he's terrible. He's terrible. 10 years later, he's terrible. And it's like, that's why. It's just like, so most of the main supporting cast are not good.
Right.
But Laura Prepon, very good. I would say at least worth watching just for her.
We'll watch the first episode, Agamemnon, if you'd like.
Yeah,
You can form your own.
Maybe we'll watch like 2 or 3, and then we'll see.
She's not
Because
very
Carrie said
interesting.
it's pretty solid show. He also dislikes Piper,
Yeah.
so
She's pretty plain. I don't know. I just...
she looks plain.
Yeah.
Not just that's not anything against her. It's just like she just looks uninteresting enough for me to not want to give the show a chance.
She really is, because it's like, okay...
And also that weird lady that looks like that chef I hate with the crazy red hair. And I think she's also an inmate chef.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just looks really fucking annoying to me.
Luis says Jason Biggs was voicing Leo on Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now he's leaving the show for unknown reasons after almost 2 seasons. Well, Luis,
Interesting.
I know you had mentioned that Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was worth watching, but now that Leo, the leader of the Turtles, is voiced by Jason Biggs, I just can't do it.
That's a pretty solid show.
Unless
I like
unless he chops the pie with his katanas or something.
Yeah, well, I think there is a little bit of that going on.
Pie chopping?
Yeah.
Just to have a throwback.
And Mousers.
Luis also wants to know, Hibiki/J, what is your Doctor Who update? Smiley face.
Oh, man.
So we finally finished the Tenant.
The Tenant run.
Yeah. Which was really, really sad.
Yeah, it was pretty depressing. That whole, I don't want to go.
I know.
And I was like, no, I don't want you to go. Hold my hand. Yeah, it was pretty sad.
Yeah. But I kind of like this new guy. Matt Smith?
Matt Smith, yeah.
I like him, but like Agamemnon said last night, it just feels like an entirely different show.
Yeah, it feels like they ramped up the production a little bit. It's kind of crazy. But, I mean, it's a good crazy.
Yeah.
But it just seems like the tone overall just seems different from the previous 4 seasons of Doctor Who. And I like the direction that's going, and I really like... Yeah, Matt Smith is really fun. It's just... I mean, we're only like 2-3 episodes in. It's like I think the 3rd episode is with the Daleks in 1942 or Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of that episode, and we called it a night because it was already past my bedtime. But yeah, we were in the middle of that one, and the show's really interesting. I think the 2nd episode was the one with the star whale.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that one was really cool too. But I don't know. I mean, we'll know the overall feel of it after the first season of Matt Smith is over.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel like it's still trying to gain its footing, which seems kind of weird since it's like a retroactive kind of thought. Since like the new Doctor's already about to be introduced in August.
Which I'm not looking forward to. I know that I said I wasn't looking forward to either one of these guys, Matt Smith or Tennant, because I was so like infatuated with Eccleston. But I don't know. It's going to be a really, really interesting story because I feel like Tennant was fun enough, but this Matt Smith is really fun and very like young feeling, and it's more kind of like whimsical. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
kind of
It's just still trying to find the footing with the show. So it's like I don't know. I know it's going to be a good run of the new Doctor or our new Doctor,
right?
But it just like I'm still like trying to get over Tennant, and I can't.
Yeah,
because like like every time I'm thinking like this should be Tennant doing the story. Like, what would he have done in this situation, and what kind of like weird babble would he be spouting right now? And I feel like Matt Smith's character is a little like quieter than
he
Tennant's.
doesn't rant as much.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, it's pretty good. It's not bad. Amy Pond, she's kind of annoying.
Yeah?
A little. I like her, but she's just kind of annoying. So I don't know if she's gonna like prove her worth later on.
I don't find her annoying, and I'm usually the first to be very, very judgmental of female characters.
Yeah. No, I'm not just like hugely judgmental. There's just something about her, just kind of like, well, why her?
Because she's cute.
Yeah,
that's why.
I guess. I don't know. Because like I don't know, like, well, one. Jesus Christ, I forgot her name already.
Who?
Billie Piper.
Oh, Rose.
Rose, yeah. Rose is by far my favorite. And then Martha was really fun and interesting, but kind of sad. And it's kind of crazy how her and Mickey get together because, like, they both share the same kind of story.
Yeah.
And they ended up being, like, together. And then Donna was really fun and interesting. She's, like, my second favorite.
See, and I hated her from the beginning.
Yeah, you hate her from the beginning, but usually when you hate someone at first, you end up liking them the most later on.
Yeah.
And I feel like, man, maybe she should have been given, like, a longer run. Like, she barely got, like, a whole season to herself.
Right.
You know? And then she was already, like, thrown off before the last 5 episodes were done.
Luis says there's a reason why you'll find out towards the end.
What?
Why, what? Donna?
Oh, Amy?
Yeah.
Oh, I know as much.
Captain Jack Harkness. Jack Harkness is his favorite companion.
Yeah, Jack was really cool.
Yeah.
And the whole revelation of him being
that was
the face of Bo.
Yeah.
That was really crazy. I was like, what? And the way they just throw it out there so casually.
Yeah.
The face of Bo, they used to call me, and they were just like,
uh...
mind fucked. That was so crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm really looking forward. Okay. So just to say, I was not looking forward at all to the Matt Smith run, and then it was Jose Villarreal, who like close friend of the show, and he's been on here at least 2 times, I think.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to get him on, but he's
Hollywood.
He's Hollywood with these local plays, man. He's like in all these different shows right now. So shout out to Jose Villarreal.
He is Hamlet.
Leader of the Nerd Geek and Dork Facebook group page. You guys should join it. It's a really fun page. Really good talks.
Love it.
So anyways, yeah, he was just like, when you get there, just give him a chance. You'll like him. So then we did, and we did.
Yeah.
We did give him a chance, and we did like him. So he was really cool. So we'll just wait to see the journey he takes us on, which should be pretty interesting.
Did you like it, love it, and wanted more of it?
I do.
Well, we have breaking news via Carrie Figueroa.
Oh?
That the Flash television pilot has leaked.
Oh, has it really?
Yeah.
Is that a linky?
Well, I don't know. We could probably get in contact and find out. Luis says he's seen it, and it's excellent, and he discusses it on the Comic Bubble.
Yeah, they were actually talking about that. I thought it had already came out. That's why I was like, oh, it leaked? I thought it came out.
Yeah.
Because the way they were talking about it.
Well, those in the know, it's already come out for them and their browsers. But yeah, I have to check it out. I haven't got a chance to see it yet. I'm a little behind. I'm not only my TV. Like Luis, you'll be very, very. I'm just ashamed to even admit this, but I am behind on 24, and I don't know if America is safe without Jack Bauer there defending it. So I have a couple episodes to catch up on. So I'll do that, and as well catch up. Well, not even catch up, but find the Flash pilot, watch it, and we can talk about it on the next episode of Straight Outta Austin.
I have to ask because I haven't really been listening, I guess, but I know that you said that you were going to watch some movie. Have you actually done
Nymphomaniac?
it? Yeah.
I was trying to see it. The only problem is the times in my work schedule.
Gotcha.
Because I wanted to try and see it before work, but there's no screenings before. I don't get home until like 11:30.
Oh, it's at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was
gotcha.
that was the Shia LaBeouf movie
Gotcha.
that he does, where he's like, "Yeah, I totally want to have real sex," which I don't think he ever does, but yeah, he's in it.
Gotcha. I thought this was like something that was already like on Netflix or something.
Oh no, it might be on video on demand, so I'll have to check that.
Gotcha.
So.
What is it called?
Nymphomaniacs. Or Nymphomaniac, something nympho.
Gotcha.
It has to do with SEX.
No.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna for you, the listeners, I'm gonna try and watch it, and hopefully Anonymous will join us because he seems to be the biggest proponent of World War Shia. I think he's the one who actually coined the phrase.
Yeah, he hasn't been on for a while. Granted, usually by this time it's like 3 o'clock in the morning where he's at.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think it's.
But
so
I mean,
late
the
for him.
kid's like 15 years old, and there's no more school. So what the hell is he doing?
He should be on holiday.
Why is he not listening to us?
I don't know. I'll email him. I have his email.
Oh, do you?
We'll track him down. We will find him.
Maybe he can be our Hector.
And maybe one day he will join us in the sun.
Yeah.
Luis says he wants to talk to it with us too. So yeah, we can have you. Well, assuming both of us actually manage to watch it. No, for the Flash pilot. But if we both end up actually watching it, we'll have you on to discuss it with us. Assuming Agamemnon will actually watch it.
Sure. I'll watch it.
Peer pressure. But anyway, does you guys have anything else?
No. Well, we're trying to work on our own little series. I got her to watch all of Attack on Titan, which she really liked.
Oh, okay, nice.
So just going to show how to get someone who doesn't usually care for anime to care for anime.
Very nice.
We'll kind of chronologize her experiences with the show and what she liked and didn't like, and the disparity it has with other animes that she didn't care for, or something like that. So, still working on it. We might record the first one tomorrow or the next day. So,
sounds good. Well, there you have it, folks. You'll have the Attack on Titans report by our very own Hibiki Jen.
Yeah.
So, with that, this is Prometheus.
This is Agamemnon.
And this has been Straight.
This is Hibiki.
Well, I can't exactly interject my name after you guys have started the name of the.
Let's rewind. Let's rewind the podcast a few minutes. This is Prometheus.
This is Agamemnon.
And this is Hibiki.
And this has been Straight
Outta
Austin.
Thank you, folks, for listening. Straight what? What? I must know. You'll never know, Luis. That secret's going to me with my grave. If you can best me in a game of Tekken, then maybe, just maybe, you'll know. Oh no! Now he knows.